Attendez, parce que je me... Attendez, parce qu'il y a mon aide-soignant qui est pas... Est-ce que vous pouvez m'aider? Ouais, voilà. Parce que c'est de... Ah non,
visiblement, ça ne marche pas. Père Patrick, vous n'avez pas perdu la main?
Est-ce que vous pouvez couper le... Ah!
On va regarder un sujet sur la...
I don't know how many years on this earth I got left. I'm gonna get real weird with it.
Hi, Dad!
Don't judge me, this is art!
It looks like he may commit suicide. Suicide is badass.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
The fuck is that? Bigfoot. Oh man, look at him.
Come on, you motherfucker! Oh, shit! God damn it! Same shit, different day!
One last thing. If you have any drugs or any alcohol, give me some.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
To a brand new show, another fucked up Monday. Don't we all just fucking hate Mondays?
Yes,
yeah.
I wish they didn't exist.
You know, I think the people out there hate Mondays more than they hate my show.
That's bad.
If only they would show up and come together and join with us in the hate.
Yes.
Then we all can hate together.
Yeah, it would be nice. But whatever.
Well,
Doesn't matter.
Like always, the days have been trying. The days have been weary. But the worst is yet to come. So let's enjoy our time, us and our 2 or 3 viewers. What the fuck you making a face for?
Because that's terrible to say.
Okay. The future's so bright. I gotta wear shades. What the fuck am I supposed to say? God damn it, my future's not bright.
Yes, it is.
What in the motherfucking Alabama temperature when it's 120 cooking me alive? Is that what you mean? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
If your future's not bright, you could always start a fire.
No, we'll get enough of that next month in August or July when it's so damn hot you can't go outside.
I can see. I don't know what's going on with the person that did that song for those little kiddies, 20-something-year-olds out there. There was a song in the 80s called The Future So Bright, and he goes, I gotta wear shades. But I'm thinking this motherfucker is seeing the world now, and he's going, if I only knew. If I only knew.
Yeah, if they only knew.
If only.
It's like you said, it's only gonna get worse before it gets better.
Now, as I frequently bitch and moan about, and yes, I'm guilty of that, of course I am. But, I use a platform to bitch because I have it, and why not, right? This channel gets little to no traction, little to no viewers. And I'm sick of playing along. Trying to play nice all the fucking time, And, I've been embraced about that much. Some more so, some are like, fuck yeah, bring it on, hell yeah, you know, of course. But I've gotten little or no traction, but that is nothing new for me. But I am motherfucking sick of playing nice. With that in mind, we are looking for another panelist for our Thursday show in particular.
Yeah.
We had the inevitable falling out with one person who everybody has a falling out with.
Yeah.
Okay, but hey, how's things been with you two?
Well, things have been okay with me. I've been getting ready for the possible new puppy that's coming, so I'm getting ready for that, and I'm getting ready for my pug to have a litter of puppies. I believe July the 9th, I've got to take her to get an x-ray done to see how many babies that she has in there. If
the dog is, yeah.
If any.
If it indeed is a little slut puppy. Oh, we know it's a slut puppy, but you know, whatever the case. How about you, Phoenix?
Well, I've been pretty busy, but I've been okay. Been making songs on Rumble, putting a few of them on YouTube, but mostly Rumble.
Yeah, you know, I also expect a inevitable fallout with the community that some embrace me and some, you know, do a little and some do a lot. You know, that community that I'm surrounded by. Why? No particular reason other than it's my nature. I have a falling out with everyone, don't I?
Yeah, with exception to a very select few.
I am, I don't know, abrasive. I don't know. Whatever the case, I am unlikable. But whatever. All I'm saying is I expect to become yet more unlikable. Yay me, right?
Well, here's the truth of the matter. You give people chances, and you're nowhere near as abrasive as some.
No, I give people way too many chances. Way too many. But hey, welcome Slay Every Game.
Hi, Slay.
Hey, Slay.
Oh, Rumble flag. Of course, it doesn't show the emoji like it should. Basically because people like, you know, they treat Rumble kind of like they treat me. It's like, no, we'll kind of get along, but fuck you really is like, you know, really like, oh, you're welcome. Just over there. Just no, really, we like just stay over there. So yeah, people treat Rumble kind of like, you know, I know the feeling. But yeah, Slay Every Game. Poor games.
But yeah, since you're coming in late, Slay, we're looking for another panelist for Thursdays. So, yeah.
Okay. Let's see what has been going on. Well, there's the chance we'll go to war, but I haven't looked hard into that. I'm not sure what's going on. I think it's something to do with Iran and Trump and a bunch of politics, and all the politicians are weighing in on it. And I think it's the general consensus. They're like, "Are you fucking crazy? Don't do that." Yeah. Of course, yeah, I'm against war. Yeah, I mean, especially if it's, you know, over money or something like that.
You know, it's been a while since we've been in a war with another country. I mean, publicly known, rather. And the United States is overdue for it, basically. I think they go to war around every 10 years or so, maybe. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that's the general track record. So, with that being said, I do believe that we're overdue. Nobody wants it, mind you, the powers that be do. I guess they get to itching for it or something. I don't know.
But you know, on the topic I was speaking on, me and my channel, yeah, I make mistakes. Sometimes I rub people the wrong way. I say the wrong thing. I do the wrong thing, but fuck, we all do. And if you can't admit that, well, you know, I suppose you got issues maybe more than me. I don't know, you know. But I do try, motherfucker. Goddamn, do I try.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't play by the rules like a lot of people do. Hey, that's just me. That's just me. It's always been me.
But you're not supposed to play by the rules. You're noise pollution. What fun is that? How are you going to bring the noise if you have to play by the rules so strict? You can't. You know?
Yeah. Well, even the successful out there know the game is rigged. Okay, a lot of rich people, they don't know the game is rigged. They're like, I'm rich, you're just lazy. You get a lot of that, right? Like, why aren't you rich? You're one of those poors, you know. Oh, motherfucker.
I hate that term.
You know, there was a millionaire and billionaire, whatever the case was. He's like, no, it's easy. Watch me do it. I'm going to drop everything, drop my identity. I'm going to rebuild my fortune in a year. Few months in, motherfucker was living in a camper, sick, and gave up. I want to see all the goddamn motherfuckers with this attitude try to do it without any of the advantages they started with. You know, also account for current day and time, you know, and the way things have changed.
Well, you know, we used to watch the show called The Walking Dead. And what was very interesting in that show was that sickness that created the zombies and stuff. It leveled the playing field all the way around. The rich people were just as shit out of luck as the poor people. And the poor people, the ones that were kind of used to living like that in the first place, they did fairly all right.
You know, got a response here. Slavery game. Oh, cool. I can always hop in sometimes on Thursday. By the way, a little late on response, but I was working on a clip. Hey, that's cool. If you want to just hop in or be a regular on Thursdays, either way, whatever works for you. There is the occasional time where the show's about full, like 10 people, but usually, in most cases, it's 8 or less, 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we by all means should have room for an occasional appearance or a regular guest, either one.
Yeah.
When I say regular guest, I mean essentially a panelist, part of the show.
But you know what I mean about The Walking Dead? It leveled the playing field for everybody. You know what I mean? And I found that very interesting. It would be a good social experiment to level the playing field and find out who does okay and who don't.
Well, I remember when like COVID hit, and for a lot of people, some people just kept on like usual, but for a lot of people, they're like, I gotta stay home. I can't do this. I can't blah, blah, blah. I can't. I'm like, oh, welcome to being poor. I've always been there. You need to shut the fuck up.
It didn't really bother me.
Yes. Okay, they weren't poor per se, right? But their activities were severely limited. And I was like, nothing's changed for me. Yeah, I'm kind of a shut-in. Why? Because we can't all afford to get out and go. I mean, I've learned a lesson real quick. You get out and go much, it siphons your money, like just gone.
Oh, definitely.
Well, I mean, when COVID hit, I was just like, this isn't really anything different. I mean, yeah, we got to follow a few protocols when we go out in public, but other than
come
that,
on, nobody followed those protocols.
Yeah, that's true. Except me, I was paranoid about that shit.
You imagine all the meth heads that strip places for coppers. Like, God damn, they're all gonna be home now.
Yeah.
What the fuck we gonna do?
Oh my god. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, they're here, they're home. What are we gonna do? We can't get the copper no more. Hi,
Hey,
Sparkle.
welcome.
Sparkles.
Mr. Sparkles. Or is
Hey,
it
Mr.
Miss today?
Sparkles.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, all the meth heads couldn't rob no houses and strip the copper out of the walls because everybody was home.
Yeah. I remember you'd all the time go to the store and you see someone take their mask off to tell someone they had COVID.
I know. How
You know-
retarded is that?
Miss Sparkles goes, I am a man, but uses female pronouns. Okay. Whatever works for you, I guess. We will. Well, okay, fuck your pronouns. But anyway, what brings to mind is the old saying, what they say is an old Southern stupid ass saying, right? It's dumb as fuck. But they say a real man can sling their dick over a tree limb and hang somebody with it.
What?
And they would
I've
say,
heard it, but
they would say a real woman can sling her tit over her shoulder and shoot out buttermilk. It's old
Ew.
Southernisms, you know.
yeah, I know, but it still don't. It's
I know it's fucking stupid, right? It's stupid.
yeah, it's
but
stupid.
well, basically, if you go back to old Southerners, they know these or some variation of these sayings, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard them.
It's not unlike a limerick, but it's not quite a limerick.
It's stupid, Miss Sparkles. I've heard it before myself, and it is real stupid. It's one of them kind of situations where you just kind of gotta nod and go on, you know, and don't really say anything. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, and then go on about your
Okay, basically, get a bunch of rednecks, and you know, one of them bragging about some shit, and it's like, that's nothing. If you're a real man, you can do this, you know, and you know that kind of thing.
yeah. Good Lord, Miss Sparkles.
I don't want to say how I've blacked women's eyes before. I'm not getting into that, but it was an abuse. It not like that. I will hesitate. I will hesitate to tell those stories.
Oh my goodness.
Also knocked a few teeth out, but not with my fist. But I won't tell those stories.
Nope, not in public.
Yep, no comment.
And it was accidental. Purely.
Well,
Wait. He says, my kid's dad and I want to see if we could. I suppose she means black and I with a titty. We also headbutted each other to see how it felt, and that was the worst pain ever.
so they was in a mosh pit together.
For one, I will say I've had burns and cuts and spider bites and snake bites, and none of that compares to getting kicked in the nuts just right. None of it compares.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't want to know.
There's always a weird story time, the noise pollution stream, and that's true. That's true. And that's part of what makes us noise pollution.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, I just got to throw the grift in there. Like and subscribe and blah, 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 you know.
Where's the skinny bitch that says it so you don't have to?
And tickle the balls and lick the tip and all that shit. All that shit. And yeah, as my bot saying, like, be sure to hit that heart reaction. That's for YouTube. Heart reaction to help them. No, whatever. When I started this channel, I try to be professional. And I'm like, right, you know, I'm just going to do the bit. I'm going to do it as professional as I can. And it's like, this isn't working. Fuck it. Just fuck it. I'm just going to get on here and be like, okay, what the fuck ever.
Yeah, you just got to have fun with it.
There's only one rule. There are no rules. No,
there are suggested behaviors, not absolute rules. But all the same, it is my channel. I can do what the fuck I want to on it.
Yep.
Well, I'm not
Just
saying
like-
I don't have consequences. I do. I mean, there's always consequences. It's like you have freedom to do whatever the fuck you want, but I have freedom to give you those consequences.
Well, I mean, most people that come on the channel,
I've lived my life as such a rebel that I rebelled against shit that would have helped me. I've been a dumbass in life and done more damage to myself than anybody else. I have no doubt about that. And I'm smart enough to recognize it and acknowledge it. I also recognize that I no longer carry on that kind of behavior for the most part.
well, as far as the channel goes, the people that come on the channel, they know what not to say, so the channel won't get flagged, so it's all right,
Well, most of them do.
Well, the ones that are on now do.
We got the fake money demanding the radioactive snatch.
Okay, hang on a minute. Okay, now I'm ready.
Is that what the snatch looks like? It goes like
No,
this.
no.
Yeah, the snatch.
Oh, I hate it so much. What is wrong with you? Oh. Okay. Let me brace myself.
What are you doing?
Okay. I'm ready.
I'll fucking do it again.
Oh, well, what I mean is when I said that the ones that are on the panel now know how to conduct themselves to where we won't get banned. I mean, the people that are coming on Thursday too.
I officially hate you. I wonder how that feels. Oh, that's such a new feeling to me.
It's
I am sincerely hurt.
Oh, you're so silly, Noise. Good Lord.
Oh, fuck. Look, if somebody didn't hate me, I wouldn't know what the fuck to do.
You wouldn't know how to act.
If I had success and popularity, okay, honestly, in the past, the times I did get success and popularity, I started feeling like, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with these people? Fuck you, fuck off. No, this can't be right. Just no. So that has generally been my track record. Anytime I had success, I felt attacked. Of course, that's stupid, obviously. But that was all the same, that was a rare thing. I mean, for people not to hate me would be the new feeling.
Well,
people in general.
Yeah. If I got rich and famous, I would design some clothes like the Peaky Blinders, but model.
Yes, there was a time I would sabotage myself. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, he would.
I've always, been the kind, I always supported the underdog, and I was like, if everybody's agreeing on one thing, I'm like, you know what? Fuck what they say. I'm gonna say something else. It's been my nature always. Of course, I try to correct myself. I try to not be that way now. I was rebel to a fault. I was a rebel to a fault.
Yeah.
But all the same, success and likability is so fucking fleeting to me. I don't have a clue what that's like.
Well, we
anymore.
like you.
Not in a long time.
We like you, goddammit. Whether you like it or not, it don't matter.
Okay then.
Bye.
I see how it is, you motherfucker. What the hell was that bullshit? You put me in the waiting room. I feel like Beetlejuice. I see how it is. I see how it is. Mean ass.
It had to be done.
No, it didn't. You smart ass.
It was the only option we had.
You ain't in control of this outfit. He is.
You are gay.
I know I'm gay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Me! Choose me! Love me!
No. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Well, I
Well,
have a
Charlie Nuclear says when people feel down and out because they are poor, I tell them this: the odds of winning the Powerball jackpot are 1 in that big ass number, 292 million. I don't know, whatever case. I don't gamble. I'm not feeling down for being poor. No, that's just life. I do recognize that some have more than others. I'm feeling down because the assholes that look at you like, ew, you're one of those poors, you're lazy trash. I don't feel down for being poor. I feel down because I got to put up with assholes that look at things like that.
Yeah.
Well, I look at that like this. The richer you are, the more miserable you are. Because things that used to bring joy in life, they don't mean anything anymore.
Look,
You know?
I don't get how we go from breakdown to twerking. Well, that's the charm of the clip, right? I mean, everything here, and I mean everything here is a bit of a paradox in itself.
Yeah.
But okay, no, I don't feel bad for being poor. I mean, I know how to do work. I know how to fix things. I know many trades and skills. I know how to fight. I know how to handle my shit. I know how to be responsible. And I see those soft fucking rich ass people out there that barely know a goddamn thing. I'm like, fuck, I got it together. They are children playing in a man's world.
Well, yeah, and I'm talking about the really, really rich people. Oh yeah, I mean they look like they're happy, but if you look at their eyes, you can tell they're miserable fucks. They're miserable. They have to surround themselves with all this stuff, and they're never happy.
There are some that are happy. They're happy, but it's not a deep happiness. It's kind of like, I can have whatever I want whenever I want. I can do what I want. And, I have availability and blah, 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 blah. But they don't have anything deep rooted. They have nothing truly earned. They have nothing that they've struggled for. They have no deep connections. They don't, everything's shallow as a fucking mud puddle for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You could say they lose the thrill of life in a way.
But I suppose all that is very philosophical kind of stuff, I mean, it's like you said, some of them may be happy, but they're not truly happy, because they can't understand. They're so far removed from the human experience. They can buy whatever in the fuck they want. They got money to last several lifetimes. So,
and
of course,
if a catastrophe ever hit, they'd be the first to die.
Yeah, because they don't know how to do nothing.
First of all, people would come in and steal all their shit like fucking instantly, right? They'd be like, what do I do? What do I do? I mean, they wouldn't know how to do anything. And they wouldn't have any friendships because everybody'd be like, oh, you don't have anything anymore? Well, I got other friends.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the way the world works.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's true.
So, what's on the agenda for tonight?
Well, we have the Bond villain.
He needs a white kitty to be a Bond villain.
It's white one's right through this window.
Well, it doesn't matter if we can't see it.
He's got one that's mixed. He's being progressive.
Yeah, see? If you're gonna be a villain, you gotta be progressive.
And you got to have a suit.
Oh, it's a button-up shirt.
So, Mr. whatever, Sparkle says, be like Alex Jones. I look at my neighbors and wonder which one I'm going to eat first. Okay, well, I look at them and go, ooh, okay, maybe it might come a point I might have to go to cannibalism. Not that I'd want to, but I wouldn't want to eat those nasty fuckers. That's kind of, that's kind of the way I look at it.
I wonder if he was speaking metaphorically.
I don't know. Alex Jones, he says some real things, but it's covered in such insanity the way he delivers it. The point gets lost.
Yeah, he's on the InfoWars, right?
Well, I know
or he was. I don't know if that's changed. I didn't really keep up with all that.
I know. I heard when he would speak on quite a few subjects, like on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he was just out there, man. I mean, he was like yelling and everything.
Okay.
But
I thought he was a nutcase. I was like, oh fuck that nutty, loony, crazy fucker. But then I started noticing he was saying correct things. It was like I said, it was in such an insane way, but it started coming out that everything he said hit the fucking nail on the head, like consistently, right? And I was like, God damn, this crazy fucker's on the shit. He knows this shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, if you can get past all the theatrics and the delivery of what he's trying to say, then
about the gay frogs on that, more or less that subject, along the same line as that subject, I have a clip that I'm going to go over, but I'm saving it for Thursday's show. So there's going to be interesting tidbit that I'm going to play for Thursday's show that is along that same line or directly connected to that.
But yeah, I got to notice, and it's like Noise said, he was right on a lot of shit, so.
Well, on one of my streams, I played a clip where he warned about COVID, but it wasn't called COVID yet. Years before it happened, he told, for the most part, step by step of how it was going to go down, and that's exactly how it went down.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I saw videos.
Was that before Alex Jones was bald or after?
I remember I saw the videos when COVID first hit. I mean, people in China, they were just dropping where they stood in the street and everything.
Yes, I seen all that footage. They were, they had people in protective bubbles and everything, but I kind of wonder if all that was rigged.
You think so?
Well, it did kind of spawn from them. Maybe it was damage control.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't tell you either way. It's all speculation.
Yeah.
So, we have Slavery Game. He says, in the Obama deception, he laid out everything that they had planned for the next decade, and most of it happened. Yeah, I hear that they're, some say they've been in these big meetings where they're going to do a false flag UFO, like the aliens are here, and they're going to be like, it's a false flag, to manipulate the people. I'm open to the concept of UFOs being real and all that. So let's say they know they're real, but they're going to keep telling the public they're not. And then they could pull it off as a false flag. I mean, that could go either way, or they're not real, or whatever the case may be, right? That could be very well something they're keeping in their back pocket.
But why? That's what I want to know. Why?
Well, I suppose you could say, for every, new generation of people, it's a new deception. So people aren't going, hey, isn't that same thing you said 10, 20 years ago?
Oh, yeah. I get it. I get it. Like every so often they'll say, oh, the swine flu is rampant and all that stuff, you know. And then 10 years later, same thing. Same thing with the avian flu and all that.
I know probably the majority of people out there would think I'm nuts if I go, I believe in this and I believe in that. I'm not saying I believe in anything. I'm saying I'm open to the belief. Some things I have experienced and I don't just believe, but I know. Other things I'm open to the belief. Whereas some people are not. Some people are like, no, I'm going to shut that shit down now. Start talking sarcastically about it, or going, oh my God, not this again. Or no, because my church says, no, because science says. Yeah, because science isn't always discovering new shit. And yeah, because church was never oppressive and very limiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, hi, Triple J. The thing about it is this. If they wanted to take such a hard stance, then they really need to look at their own selves. Because
I dislike it when people use their church or even their science to limit things. Science only progresses when they don't limit themselves with their own science. When they go back and question everything, it leads to advances. But the moment they go, because this says, and therefore we're not even going to think about it, look at it, or any damn thing. That's where we fall flat.
Yeah, it's like Einstein, before he died, he was trying to prove that during a solar eclipse, stars are visible to the naked eye. And for years, they said he was full of shit and they didn't believe it. Well, after he died, they finally seen it for themselves and then they believed it.
Yeah. And what I say on here, yes, I bitch about things, but don't take it as a personal attack. If anybody has an issue with the things I say on here, we can talk about it like civil adults. That is, if you have it in you to do so. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying we can all be adults. We can even disagree on things. It's all right. It's okay, because that's what adults do. They continue together even in disagreeing. Of course, there comes a point where someone goes too far and then you go, nope, there's the line. Of course, there's that point. But I'm talking about before you get to that point.
Yeah. It's like me and my friend at work, he's a hardcore Christian, and I'm not big into religion, but we still talk about religion sometimes and like philosophy, even though we don't agree on it. Makes the conversation more interesting.
Well, philosophy is very, 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 very fluid because it depends on who you're talking to. Everybody on the earth has different philosophies about things. And sometimes people agree. Most of the time they don't. Not when it comes to their own personal philosophies about things.
Yeah. He's one of the few hardcore Christians that I've met that you could disagree on Christianity and him not get mad at you.
But really? I do wish, and this is not to anybody in particular, but I do wish when people do have an issue, they would come out and say it and not give these vague hints or remarks, or dance around it. It's like, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And then the politest terms be like, well, here's the issue, can we work on it? I find people don't do that. They become passive aggressive. They become sarcastic and snarky and arrogant. And it's like, God damn, can't we be adults? Can't we be adults?
Yeah.
Oh, I was reading what Charlie said. about.
Oh, fuck, you can read. No.
Oh, you jackass!
Yeah. Okay, Charlie Nuclear, his theory predicted that the sun's gravity would bend the path of light from distant stars, an effect that could be observed during a solar eclipse when the sun's light is temporarily blocked. Yes, because gravity distorts, and bends light.
Could you imagine though?
But if what I said isn't exactly accurate, feel free to correct me. But I believe that's how it plays into it.
Could you imagine traveling on a light beam? Wouldn't that be so neat? I mean, you could get anywhere in the universe in very little time.
Well, you would have to be essentially without mass. That's the deal there.
Yeah, I know.
And even then, to travel on it, I wonder what it would take. Would it be less mass than actual sun particles, light particles, to travel on it? Or you would have to have a catalytic effect there.
Yeah. Or even you could travel in it.
Well, we can travel in light now. It's like go out in the fucking daytime, just walk.
No, I'm talking about in the rays of light.
Like,
yeah,
no, I'm talking about throughout the universe.
Like,
okay, you realize the Earth part of the universe, right?
Yes, I'm not a complete idiot, but yes, I know. But I'm talking about being microscopic enough to travel in light. What?
Hey, somebody's calling on you to do woman's work.
You're such a shithead, I swear. Smart ass.
You know
something?
When I first started doing videos and streaming, at the very start I got haters, but I haven't for a long time. I'm going, where the fuck are my haters?
They're lurking.
I should probably feel fortunate, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, what was Phoenix saying?
You know something else that'll blow your mind? We're moving through space and time right now.
Yep.
We're time travelers. We just can't go back.
The hell we can't. It's whatever you put your mind to.
Well, it depends on what point of view you're looking at. You could say it's all exists at all times, past, present, and future exists at all times, that our consciousness is traveling along a line, and we call that the present. Or you could look at it as this matter, and time is a matter of things decaying and changing. Everything that has exist does exist, therefore it just changes. It decays, but then it becomes something else. Nothing ever is new, so to speak. A new effect in which we experience. But that's a lot to get into, and I'm not getting into all of it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, wait. That's the pretty lady there.
No.
The bearded lady.
He's the one with all the putty cats.
Got one here. Got one right through this window. There was one on the porch earlier too.
He's got better hair.
Oh Lord, have mercy. But yeah, Phoenix has a lot of cats around.
Got 3 cats, and the others are just stray cats that a neighbor keeps over there.
Then they're not strays, are they? They're his.
For you viewers, don't think that I don't have topics, but once we get into topics, a lot of people was like, oh fuck, now he's reading. No, I'm just going away. Right? So I like to keep the majority of it conversational, you know, and obviously interact with the audience because it's all about the audience more than it is about us. The snatch scares everyone away. Or is it the ponies?
It's the snatch. I think everybody's used to the ponies by now. I had a thought.
Or maybe it's this one.
Nothing but.
You had a thought.
Not that. But I had a thought about what if, you know, a lot of people, they say they see spirits and stuff from the past and stuff like that. What if it's living people that hasn't died yet? That is
she knows how to
traveling
get
the
down.
present?
I'd be concerned that bitch would gobble it off.
Should hurt somebody, I'm telling you. She would hurt somebody. She'd hurt somebody.
Okay, real quick now, what was your hypothesis again?
Well, spirits, people see spirits sometimes, and what if they're living in the past, but their spirit is traveling to the future, like to now?
Oh, it
from
could be a manifestation that, you know, directly from the person seeing it. It could be a echo of energy. I mean, it could be a lot of things, and I don't know if anybody can nail it down, you know. But that's another issue that could go on and on and on that I don't think I'm ready to get that far into.
Well, it was just a thought, you know, because time is a mere human construct in the first place. So
Time is, but it's essentially based on change and more than anything, decay. For one, you know, the decay of a radiotopic isotope. I forget all the phrasing and all that, but you know.
yeah. Well, it was just a thought.
Yeah, but you're gonna get my mind going down that, and it's like, I don't think we got time for that. Yeah, I mean, I know some people want this to be a science show or a paranormal show or a philosophy show or a hangout and bullshit show or comedy, and you know something, it's all the above. You know, it's what you want to make it, but I don't ever lean too heavy in one direction.
It's a little bit of everything. That way, everybody has a thing that they can contribute, you know, if they want. I was reading what Miss Sparkle said. You moved the noise pollution sign closer. I don't know. Get that cat out of the camera. That cat don't want to be in the camera, and you're forcing it to be in the camera.
Yeah, I don't think anybody quite knows what you're referring to there.
I don't know.
This cat loves watch the computer screen, just all the colors and everything. So watch it for hours. Or he'll.
You don't know.
Are you assuming it's gender
or boy?
you are assuming it's gender.
It's a he. Just I had another cat that with the same name. That was a girl. So I just, yeah.
You what? Wait,
What
what
now?
You what now?
I had another cat with the same name as this one. That was a girl. So I sometimes get that mixed up. This one's a boy though. And I didn't name
I'm
it.
very
So
confused.
the whole thing is confusing. I didn't name the cat. Someone else did.
Okay, what's that cat's name?
Flurry.
Oh.
Okay. The only noise pollution sign that I'm knows this little word up here, little tiny word, which in StreamYard it's fixed there. I tried to adjust the size of it too by uploading different, but no, it's like, no, fuck you. No, here we go. Here we are with this little fucking word here and can't move it. If that's what you're referring to.
Well, Flurry can be a boy cat or a girl cat.
It does have, female connotations to it, but yes, it could be either, just like the name Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah, this there is an assigned. Actually, I had that thought recently. Like, what if I printed out or what the fuck ever a sign, noise pollution, right? Like some channels do this shit, right? But I'm not stuck at an immediate wall behind me, right? I got some distance behind me, and it'd be way the fuck in the back. And it's like, what good would that do?
He's got space.
You gotta hang it from the roof of the string.
That would just look weird.
I've always be being hit by my own fucking sign. Like,
Yeah.
God damn it, I know you're annoying. I know I'm annoying. What the fuck you gotta remind me? Neon, well, we're not all bright and cheery and shit, so don't play out so well. We are the noise pollution. And I think that is undeniable. Because I bitch a lot. And no one is safe from my bitching, myself included. I mean, okay, you may catch me talking shit from time to time about anybody and everybody. Okay, but believe me when I say I don't talk shit about anybody more than I do myself. I'm harder on myself than I am on anybody.
Yeah, you are. To a fault. I mean, sometimes it's not warranted.
Edgy? No, I wouldn't say that. Edgy. No, I wouldn't say that.
No.
Edgy.
There was a time when I was younger, maybe I was edgy, and no, I don't mean that in any kind of perversion, perverted way. Damn, I don't know if people sit on a fucking ass for 8-10 hours at a time.
Yeah, me.
Damn, everything falling asleep on you. Yes, that I am different.
You are
And no,
unlike.
I don't mean gender politics or any such bullshit.
You are unlike anybody else I've ever seen. That's the truth. So do you have any articles?
Articles?
Yes.
Do you have any?
No.
No.
I'm not prepared.
You want me to give you articles?
Yes.
You should bring your own.
I did, but I lost them.
Hey, your dog eat them? I'll tell you what happened. Miss Sparkles came in and took your articles.
Oh, well, that's okay. She can have them.
She does have her own channel, does her own material.
Oh, I know. But anyway, I wish it would quit raining.
And for Thursday's show, when I have more panelists, Miss Sparkles is welcome to be on that show, of course.
I wish it would quit raining. We're gonna have to build a boat, an ark, and hope for the best.
It quit raining for like 10 minutes at a time, then it rains some more.
We are living in a goddamn jungle. I swear to God. It's awful.
Sounds like she has some wistful thinking there.
I don't know. I mean, if you shaved him and put some makeup on him, maybe. I don't know.
This is much worse shaving, trust me.
As though Miss Sparkles says, I'm with Ryan. Weed, I take it means Wednesday. Weed. Okay. And Friday, I'll be with you Thursday. What? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm on Ryan's on Wednesday. Although, I wonder how long it'll carry on. I don't know. I mean, I know he said at one point, he says if like 4 people didn't show up, he was gonna be like, no, fuck that show, and carried on to another. But exactly 4 did.
Well, is he having any success?
Spellcheck is indeed a whore. His success, I can say this, is better than mine. But can you name someone that isn't?
Me. Well, me, because I don't really I don't have a channel, so I can't I don't have the patience for it. I really do not have the patience for it. I would get pissed off at it and rage quit. I know I would. So I help you co-host this.
Yeah.
So that's how I contribute.
No, I got a channel, but I do not do live streams. I don't think I'd be good at it by myself.
Probably not. And I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but probably not.
Yeah.
Because you got to have the gift of gab. You got to have it. But yeah, I don't have patience for my own to do my own channel, because for one, what in the fuck would I talk about? I mean, just random bullshit, So no, I'd rather do this. That's how I help. I can help. I can help.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
It's Phoenix, apparently.
Not me.
As a female.
No.
Ah, that's what I thought it was. What the hell happened?
It looks weird. I don't like it.
What the hell happened?
I don't like it.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Ah!
Miss Sparkles just really wants me to be a woman for some reason. I don't know. I guess he's into it.
Oh my goodness, that was funny. I like that. Yeah, it's funny. We should keep it. No, we should keep it. We should keep it. Yeah, we'll keep it. We should keep it. Yeah.
She says she's gonna try again.
I thought they turned out good, Miss Sparkles.
I don't like it.
Nobody's asking you. I liked them. I thought they were cute. They're funny too. They were funny. But
yeah, oh fuck.
oh no, I gotta see this. I want to see.
The next we can see Eliza.
Yeah, but I predicted that tonight would be a slow night. Actually, the viewer count is not bad. I mean, we don't have a real active chat, but we got a little bit.
Well,
what? Go ahead.
Mondays usually is kind of slow.
It's kind of back and forth. You never can tell when it's gonna pick up. It's odd like that.
Yeah, true. That is true. So What you got planned this week, Phoenix?
Don't know yet. Got some chores to do around the house. I'm finishing up an AI song tonight after the stream. Might try and make another one. So we'll see where the week takes me, I guess.
You'll probably float away.
Probably.
Well, yes, that is indeed the problem, you know. I come on here and often Hypnotic is streaming and Toasty's streaming and a few others. I don't know. I mean, I think I keep up with those two more than others. They don't keep up with me. I don't believe so. I really don't. Okay. To be fair, John has showed up in my chat multiple times and said, hey, and then left. Toasty showed up one time and went, and then she immediately went, Lilith is a dude. Which who the fuck knows, right? Because we don't know. We don't know. I mean, I try to be kind and be like, okay, whatever you say, right? But we don't know. But for the most part, people don't keep up with my shit. Yes, I am competing. Okay, let me put it like this. I am not competing. This happens to be the most free time I have to do a show. If I could do it on a different time frame from them, I sure would, because I would, I don't know, maybe double my views, maybe.
Well,
what? Yeah, what?
The thing is
I'm gonna need a bit more context than what.
the thing is at any given moment, chaos could ensue. So, except Mondays is usually pretty slow. So that's another reason why.
Well, when I first started, it was me and Elijah there, and I chose Monday and Thursday. Actually, it was originally, what was it, Wednesdays and Fridays, maybe? Whatever the case. So. Whatever the case, it was because of the news cycle, you know. Be on here, be like, blah, blah, blah. Here's the news, like you didn't already fucking know, like it wasn't already everywhere. But it would be a news cycle. You'd have to gather up enough news for each day. And if you were on here every day, you'd be kind of going, now what? What do we do? Especially when you have no audience, right? Like zero audience. For like a year, we had zero audience, right? So, yeah, I see that. But that is why I chose those days. Thursday, we end up not covering much. I bring up an article if things get slow enough, but usually it's a lot of people bullshitting or conversing a lot. On Mondays, we try to cover a good few many topics and try to, you know, talk and converse and interact with the chat and not get made into a woman.
I want to see. Let me see. See, I told you would make a pretty girl.
You completely took off your beard there. You just got a little mustache.
Yeah. Vaguely looks like me, but not all that much, I don't think. Okay, that's enough of that.
Now we're all speechless.
Yeah.
I told you you would make.
I had to adjust. Girl. I had to adjust.
You need to go with one of those. I was going to say you need to go with one of those bras that don't have the wire in them because they pinch. Yeah. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
So now there's one more person that needs an AI portrait of him, man.
AI is
I'm
gonna
already
fuck us
a
all
girl.
over.
I'm already
But-
a girl.
We can always go the other way with it.
AI will fuck us all over.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna get into an article. I mean, yeah, I like conversing more than covering articles, but there gets to be moments of we're just going, now what? Somebody say something.
Miss
I
Sparkles
have
has
an addiction. I have a sickness. Clearly, you have a sickness. We all see you have a sickness.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, Miss Sparkles, there's a word for it. Buddhism.
Oh no. No. If you say it, they will come. No,
Fuda,
Fuda.
fuda, fuda, fuda. Fuda, 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 fuda.
No, stop it.
Okay, listen, I don't know if YouTube, that's one of their no words, but to my knowledge is not. So fuck, and I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
You might tell me if that's one of their blacklisted words, because goddamn, if we talk like YouTube wants to talk, it'd be baby gibberish.
Say hello, Big Shirley.
Big Shirley.
Oh, there you go. There's Big Shirley. No, they're not on here this time. They're not on here this time.
No Puerto Ricans on there.
Nope. All right, you got to move. You get on my nerves.
Big Shirley.
Says, I did something with her face. I think it turned out nice.
Okay, now I'm curious.
Okay.
Oh, I like it.
Hey, we have Yasto.
Hey, Yasto.
And again, I don't know if it's Yasto. I guess it don't fucking matter that much. But hey, welcome, Yasto. What's up? Well, not much. Not much. It's a slow Monday. Mondays are slow. And we have Miss Sparkle's gender bending people.
Yeah.
Mine turned out real good. I liked it. They all did. They all turned out really good.
I actually think it added a little more wrinkles to your face than you naturally have.
Yeah,
oh well, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I liked it.
I mean, yeah, you get older, you're gonna have wrinkles. I probably have some. I mean, your skin not as tight and all this shit when you get older, double chin and what the fuck ever else, right? But with that being said, I think that added just a touch more than you naturally have.
I liked it.
She's good at it. Be afraid.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
She needs to talk to Valkyria Winter.
Oh yeah.
No. No. Don't do that. Don't come on her. No. She'll
Was
never be
it
the
just me
same.
or did she just freeze some?
Who?
Was it just on my end? On my end, you froze like for a couple seconds.
Mm. But knowing Valkyria, he would show her a bunch of Fuda pictures and she would never be the same again.
Yeah, she's got that little itch. She's got that little itch and she doesn't know what it is. He knows exactly what it is. He'll go straight to the point.
They can make it for each other.
I wish I had never asked what it was, because now I know what it is. I haven't seen one and I don't want to see one. I want to see one. But now I know what it is, and I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't.
And we have Zombie or Zombie 3D, but I like to say Zombie.
Hey, zombie.
Put a
Zombie.
French twist to it.
Zombie.
Makes it sound so classy.
No, I appreciate I got skilled, people who followed me that skilled, knowledgeable. I know, last stream y'all still stayed a long time talking, and I believe he is intelligent. I know Zombie, he really digs in his knowledge base. He really digs in, he's very knowledgeable. I appreciate that so many knowledgeable people. Now, Triple J, he's a long time follower, long time follower. He don't say a whole hell of a lot, so I can't really gauge there, but it's great all the same.
Well, Zombie said they like to dive into information.
Look, listen, we know you're a woman. We know about your reading issues. I can read it for you.
Oh, you're such a smart ass. But what I was going to say is information is kind of like a rabbit hole, If you get started into a subject you like, you just go deeper and deeper into it, and you learn all these amazing stuff.
So you're saying it's like a cheap, dirty whore?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Isn't that what it sounds like?
No. You people, God, you're awful.
And she says deeper, and you're like, fuck you, I don't want to drown.
Oh, Lord. There's something wrong with you.
You're holding on by a 2x4 going, this rope's going to snap, or the board's going to snap. But no, anyway, use your imagination on that one.
No, that's okay. I don't want to.
Or the thing I like to say, you get a real bad one. It's not even that. It's like you go to put it in, and a hand pops out with a sign that says occupied. Hand comes and pushes your shit out of the way. Occupied. Dives deep. I can hold my breath. Dives deep. Deeper. It'd be getting up in there like filming and pointing out the STDs floating around.
Oh, Lord. That's awful. That's just awful.
Okay, speaking of awful, let's look at this. First look at the MCU's drag queen in Ironheart. If you're not familiar with Ironheart, it's beyond silly. Little black girl, backwards engineers Tony Stark's tech, and now she's Ironheart in her own Iron Man suit. Silly as fuck, right? I mean, he built an empire and he built this technology and no one else could do it. Suddenly these little black girls are going, I can do it, and I can do it better than you. And they made a TV show of it. So apparently they are sticking a drag queen in Ironheart. Oh, that sounds wrong.
Yeah.
The MCU has its first drag queen. I doubt that. Check out a first look at Shea Cooley. How the fuck you say that?
Cooley.
Check out the first look at Shea Cooley in Marvel's upcoming Ironheart series coming to Disney Plus. You'll be seeing the diva in some looks The Chicago-based entertainer told Entertainment Weekly, referring to Slug, a fierce hacker and key supporting character in the next chapter of Ryan Coogler's Black Panther's Disney spinoff. Yeah, I think they featured Ironheart, little black tech girl, in Black Panther, the movie. Anthony Ramos previously revealed the plot of Ironheart centers around gangsters turned activists. What? Gangsters turned activists? That's silly. That's just fucking silly. I help a group of urban Robin Hoods to take away from the privileged and help give back to the community. Shay said, is it Shay? Whatever Shay said. Yeah, imagine. Okay, gangsters turn activists, and they're playing Robin Hood, and she is a drag queen that is helping them. This TV show is like cancer. Coley MCU's character also apparently uses pronouns. Oh, to whose surprise? From my understanding, this version of Slug they're presenting is someone who's being referred to as a code name. I don't want to give too much of their backstory away. They need an alternative code name to go by because there could or could not be some people looking for them, he said. The drag queen is also part of the character and plot. They've kind of left drag. They are drag queen, but it's kind of a past life, Shay said. You see them in drag, but it's kind of in the context of flashbacks before where they are now, because they're trying to be on the low. Oh, I hate this hipster talk.
What?
This, you know, what is it? Gen Z? Which fucking generation? Whatever case, I don't, you know, it's like all these people going low key. It's like, what are you summoning a Norse god? What was going on here?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
On the low.
So, okay, this show is going to be drivel in the first place, and they've just mucked it up even more.
Yeah.
Yep.
To me, their look reminds me of those. I think they call them like Chia Pets. You ever seen those commercials?
Yeah. Chia.
Yeah. That's my first thought when I see that person.
And they're just going to keep pushing this crap. I mean,
strange how the media has 50 different ways to say man. But none of them really say man, does it? Chia. Don't ask what it grows.
Just to add water.
Yes,
add water.
This Ironheart, are either of you two familiar with Ironheart?
I've seen a commercial here and there.
Let's see, what was her name? She had some really silly name that to me sounded like an insult. Let me give a quick look. You know, you can't talk to fill the silence.
I was sitting here trying to think of the name, but I can't think of it. And I know it was something stupid because I think I remember.
Okay. Riri Williams.
Yeah, that was it.
Did you say Riri?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Riri.
Yeah. I was about to say wee, but I knew that wasn't right. So I didn't say anything.
Okay. How is this not racist, what they're doing? Little black girl out of nowhere reverse engineered Tony Stark's ingenious, tech, and she's, I don't know, out of the hood, and then they're turning gangsters into politicians, into activists, that is, and they name her Riri. How is that not kind of, doesn't that feel racist to you two?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
And Williams at that is like, what they do? Like roll the dice and pick a name? Riri Williams. What the hell?
I keep wanting to call her Wee Wee. Like
Riri is the sound activist makes. And that was one thought. Yes, that was one of my first thoughts. I also had the thought is, you know, that they could have it's to me it's not different than them calling her Shanae.
Yeah, it's about the same.
I know this is one show I will not be watching.
No, I don't think I'll watch it either. I mean, because here's the thing. What is this girl's credentials that she can reverse engineer?
She's an MIT student. So because of that, I guess she can reverse engineer the most powerful tech on Earth.
Oh, please.
I guess so.
She's a student. She hasn't graduated. She doesn't know anything.
Hey, Triple J says that's what I call my Aunt Marie. Well, I didn't know you were black. Riri. Imagine calling that name out, right? You know, Riri. Riri.
Oh God, Yatsel's right.
The girl in the picture looks like Dennis Rodman. Now, what was that you said?
They're right. The person in this picture does look like Dennis Rodman. I didn't think about it until they said something.
Zomade says, Nay's kids, I love that show. Oh, Iron Heart. No, that's a pass. Iron
and
Fart.
The thing is the makeup job that they got going on isn't even a good one. I mean, come on.
I take it that, you know, they're trying to make them androgynous, right? You know, they're kind of going, it's a drag queen, but it's not, but it is, you know, and they're kind of like, I guess they're trying to avoid people going, hey, look what they got in their show. Let's boycott it. This isn't helping. This is not helping. Androgyny is the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what's light androgyny? A man with long hair. A man wearing a little jewelry. Some people will go, so what? You know, that's just a man. That's not androgynous at all. But if we're going to play the devil's advocate is what I'm saying here. But, you know, I sound like a man. I talk like a man. I got facial hair. I'm clearly a man. There's no androgyny. If you want to play the devil's advocate, right? You can say that's a little androgyny. But this kind of androgyny, yeah, that's a drag queen.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, they're just
transistor transformer.
They're just riding on Iron Man's coattails, and this is going to crash and burn.
Why do they keep taking these popular titles and be like, now it's a woman, now they're black, oh, and they're gay too, oh, they're transformer, they're in transition. You know, why do they keep? It's like, okay, if there's so many out there is going, yay, progressive and blah, 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 LGBTQ. There's so many people out there that's so hard supporting that and so hard pushing for that, then why can't original characters stand on it without stealing the most popular characters out there in existence?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, they need to make their own characters with their own ideas and quit stealing all the other ones. Just cheapens what they make.
Well, they can't. They don't know how. It has been so damn long since they have came up with an original story or comic or anything. They've forgot how to do it.
So Yasto says, I am a male with long hair and some facial hair, but I don't think I look androgynous. I don't know. My girlfriend doesn't think I do. Yeah, I'm not saying somebody's androgynous for that. I'm saying if you were playing the devil's advocate, right? You know, there's androgyny and then there's drag queen or, you know, trainee, right? There's clear lines.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I have long hair and facial hair. And I'm not that big for a man, you know. I'm more of a smaller stature or average, maybe you might could say. But I don't go for androgyny. Fuck no. I'm just not like ultra macho, machoism, right? Like everything must be super macho. I know, I'm more free flowing than that, but I'm straight. I'm most definitely straight.
But I know there is a subculture in Japan that is heavily into androgyny, and
Yeah.
their thing is they don't want to be male or female. They just want to be a human, So I can kind of I can kind of get that. But this business that they, change genders and all that kind of stuff, like all this stuff going on now, no, I don't understand that at all.
Let a person be however they're gonna be, but the moment they start going, hey, we're gonna teach your kids how to do it, nope, that's a line. The moment they go, you call me this or that, that's a line. Or if you're not attracted to me, you're a blah blah blah. Oh, fuck you, fuck no, hell no.
Yeah. I agree too. I mean, they can be whatever they want, just do it over there, away from me.
So it says zombie or zombade says Deadpool was the last OG character that could work in movies. See, Deadpool is kind of anything. He's bi, he's this, he's that, but not because of identity politics, but because he's insane, and that's why it works. It's like, but of course he's gonna do that. He's fucking nuts, and we all know it. Not like we must respect his identity. We must call him or her or it a Z-zer shit. What? I don't know. All that goddamn nonsense.
Yeah. Deadpool ones are always just kind of a joke comics.
Well, I think the main thing that made Deadpool unique was he broke the third wall a lot.
I don't know if he did that first. That's been a thing. That's been a long running thing, but some characters popularized it, and he was most definitely one of them.
Oh, okay, I see.
Keep the young confused so they don't grow up. They just stay compliant. Well, that's like when they do transition. They give them these chemicals. What they often don't tell them is it sterilizes them. No kids ever.
Yeah.
And from Yasto, woke culture tries too hard for the past several years. I don't mind people be whatever they want to be, but I don't like them trying to put their agenda in my face. I don't like them trying to put anything in my face, but including agenda.
Well,
that reminds me. Me and Elijah one time, a long time ago, went to New Orleans. It was not during the Mardi Gras, but still, it was New Orleans. Walking by buildings, just walking by, and then suddenly, bam, those crotches in your face. Okay, they were standing in windows, but there's no glass in the windows. So you're walking like right alongside the buildings, and suddenly there they are in the window, open window, dancing with their crotches at face level.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like, God damn, I don't want to breathe in your crabs.
Triple J said they're wiener tuckers.
Yep, wiener tuckers.
It's like, I don't want to breathe in your crabs.
I'm all for the attractive female form, but what I dislike is tackiness. And I've seen a lot of people in New Orleans being tacky, walking around with their shorts pulled up their asshole and ass cheeks hanging out and looking trashy as fuck. And this was when I was younger and I was more vocal. I would straight yell at them. And I'd be like, hey, cover your ass. Hey, fix your shit. Hey, pull your pants up. Because, okay, if they're a dancer, that's one thing. But if they're walking around looking tacky as fuck, that's just my own pet peeve, if you will. You know, everybody can have their own take on that.
Remember when we was in New Orleans and those dandies got after you?
Oh, motherfucker.
It was weird. Yeah, it was weird.
We came out of a bar, which the place is nothing but bars. Came out of a bar, and it was like fucking, I don't know, 6 or 8 of them. They were wearing all white, like white top hats and suits and twirling umbrellas, and they were all very dandy men. And they got their eye on me quickly, and I was like, I'm out. Fuck, I am so out.
I made sure to walk right beside him too, so they would get the idea that he didn't swing that way.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
I was reading what Yazdo said.
As we said in the last stream, when children are watching, people must be careful what's showing.
Yeah. And you know kids are going to be watching that Ironheart. Because, I mean, you know, they...
Well, I will say, I on speaking for this show anyway, I doubt kids are watching it. And if they are, what the fuck's wrong with you? We're not fast talking, flashy, hyper, you know, what we provide should not appeal to kids whatsoever. So if kids are watching, go fucking do something else.
Where's your parents?
All I'm saying is I don't want to be guilty of, you know, exposing this, that, whatever to children. And if some are watching, they already know this shit. They might know it better than me.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, you know kids are going to be watching Ironheart because it's like Iron Man, you know. And what makes me ticked off about the whole thing is they're going to get it in their head that's the way to be. Because especially little kids, they're impressionable. You have to be careful what you let your little kids watch. Because they'll get it in their head that that's the way they're supposed to be. And they're going to have all these questions that their parents are really not going to want to have to deal with. It's like, well...
Hey, welcome, Roadkill.
Hey, Roadkill.
It's like, well, Mom, Dad... Why can't I chop my pee-pee off and my boobies off and be a male or a female? Why can't I do that? Because you're not insane. That's why.
Yeah, but everything's telling them that they can. It's like, but there's that person on TV.
Yeah, that's my whole issue with it. I mean, if they didn't push it so hard.
Well, I was just gonna say, for those not familiar, Roadkill is one of my regular panelists for Thursday's show. This show has been delegated to covering more topics, and Thursday to more hanging out. Whether it'll stay that way, I don't know. I've not fully decided. But for the moment, Thursday is when we have a lot of great regular panelists as part of the show.
Did you ever have to make up your mind? Say yes to one and leave the other behind. It's not often easy. It's not often kind. Did you ever have to make up your mind?
There we go.
I made my mind up.
Yep. Now you can go back to sanity.
Actually, I don't know what that. Sanity. I've actually never heard that song before, so I don't know what the fuck you're going on about.
Oh, it was because you said you hadn't made up your mind if the Monday night stream was going to be for topics or not.
Well, we have a request to bring Roadkill on now. What does everybody think?
Okay.
Well, it is clearly up to, well, me, of course, but Roadkill as well.
So, but yeah, this is what pisses me off about the whole agenda.
I don't know if you said it, but where's that song come from?
It's a I think it's from the 70s. I'll have to look it up just a second.
I was too busy listening to Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and and some 60s stuff too, like Hendrix and and Janis Joplin, which was a bit different from the rest, but that woman had some soul.
Oh yeah, I like Janis Joplin. A lot of people nowadays don't know her, but she's up there with like the Doors and Jimi Hendrix and all that.
Tell them it won't work because it won't truly make you the other gender.
That song comes from the Lovin' Spoonful.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it. You're old.
I know. But I've also ran into this subreddit, and I know everybody says that Reddit is toxic, and it's true, it is. But I have run into this subreddit where all these transgender people that has transitioned regret the shit out of it, and they're going back to their original gender. It fucks them up, but they are. You
can't
going
really
back.
because those hormones and whatever all that treatment they get permanently alters you.
Yeah, it does. And they're having an existential crisis because after they've transitioned, they figure out it ain't easier. So
yeah,
there you go.
I know people talk about classic rock and they're like the 90s, and I'm like, fuck, I thought that came out yesterday. I'm old. But I like rock music of all eras. I do believe the best was in the past, like toward the late 90s it really fell off a cliff, but part of the reason for that is the producers and all the people in charge is like, no, we're not looking at that kind of stuff anymore. We're not promoting that. We're not paying people to play that kind of music. And we didn't get to see the latest greatest anymore.
That is true. I remember hearing, my family was a very musical family. My grandfather could play any stringed instrument. It didn't matter what it was. But anyway, I digress. I remember hearing Janis Joplin.
Hey, it's too much digressing going on in this channel.
I remember
no more digressing. No more digressing. But I digress.
I remember hearing Janis Joplin for the first time, and me and my grandmother thought she was just wonderful because she had this different sound. And my grandmother, she didn't ever like Elvis. She never liked Elvis. She liked the one
nothing but a hound dog.
Yeah, she never liked Elvis. She thought he was full of shit. But I grew up listening to a lot of Led Zeppelin and the Doors and Janis Joplin and stuff like that too, along with a lot of soul music, R&B and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm going to ease into another topic.
So, yeah.
What the fuck you doing? I'm trying to get into the topic. So, yeah, like, goddamn. He's like, no, I'm gonna fuck your shit up.
I'm sorry. It was a delay.
You realize what you're doing right now? No, I'm playing, but anyway, I'm gonna get into this article. X-Men 97 showrunner deleted post could implicate Marvel exec Brad Winderbaum in alleged PA misconduct, cover-up, and retaliation scandal. So, I have talked about this person before, Bo DeMeo, and I found him to be kind of perverted, honestly. My take on him. A lot, people, it's mixed, right? People's like, he did such a good job on X-Men 97. Really? he had somebody chasing Wolverine like Wolverine needed to worry about being in the shower. In fact, this person was after Wolverine peeking in the shower at him going, do you need me to scratch your back? Oh, no. We don't need to be doing all that. Why are you doing all that? The show, take that aspect out of it, that element out. It was well done. It was. But that ruined it for me.
Yeah.
I mean, Morph was always in the show anyway. He was always creepy as shit around Wolverine. It was just.
No, that was the new show. The old one wasn't like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the new show.
Yeah, like he was gonna surprise sex him, right?
Yeah.
By force.
Yeah.
And you know, they were hinting at, oh, the show's gonna continue and they're gonna have a relationship. Ooh. I mean, I don't care if Morph to me looks like default a male more than anything. I don't care what he can shift into. I don't care. That's a big no. And it's shameful the way they're doing Wolverine in that role. But to get to the story, could Marvel's Brad Winderbaum be involved in a major scandal involving misconduct and retaliation? X-Men creator, showrunner Bo DeMaio has made explosive allegations against Marvel Studios, accusing unnamed producers of retaliating against him after he reported alleged misconduct involving a Marvel higher-up and production assistant. So, yes, he's been making allegations against Marvel, but the story gets a little more involved suddenly. DeMaio has finally confirmed the executive at the center of it all, according to DeMaio, was none other than Brad Winderbaum, Marvel's head of streaming, television, and animation. He claimed that after he alerted the studio about a potentially exploitive sexual relationship between a lead and a PA, a senior producer not only buried the report, but he tipped off the accuser, who then allegedly worked to discredit DeMaio behind the scenes. So this person over Marvel's streaming, television, animation could very well have been into some sexual misconduct, and it got buried when DeMaio tipped it off, to put it simply. So DeMaio also said his ongoing concerns at Marvel were brushed off by executives who, according to him, told him deal with it because the individuals involved were amazingly talented. Sounds about right. That's the way things usually go. The accusations were serious enough that many began speculating who the unnamed executive could be, especially given the timing of DeMaio's firing just days before X-Men 97 debuted on Disney. He was the showrunner, and right before the show came out, he's fired.
Yeah, something going on there.
Oh, okay.
Funny, DeMaio wrote on a since deleted post on X, instead of having a person's actual bad conduct with PA investigated by HR, as well as the cover-up perpetuated by certain producers to smear me after I reported said conduct. This latest wording has been interpreted by many to imply that Brad Winderbaum may have been either the individual involved in the alleged inappropriate relationship or the executive who covered it up. I know it's a lot of reading, but bear with me. At the same time, DeMaio himself has faced accusations of inappropriate behind-the-scenes behavior, including claims that he sent suggestive photos of himself to staff members. DeMaio has forcefully denied those. That's what it says. Denied those allegations, calling them part of the very smear campaign that he was orchestrated in retaliation for reporting misconduct. I think they all did it. And as far as Bo DeMaio goes, if you look at his social media, he's gay, and it's a lot of him oiled up and posing. I believe he's quite the pervert. Well, I believe there's misallegations. I mean, I believe there is misconduct everywhere to be had. That's my take on it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I think they're all in on it. and to find somebody that works in that company that's not would probably be a very rare thing.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there.
Because I mean, somebody probably got mad at somebody and then said something, and here it is.
Well, I believe it was a case of mutually assured destruction, to where if anybody pulls that trigger, a lot of people are gonna fall. But they're like, we're gonna let it fall with pervert number one, the one who made the allegations, to cover all of our asses. I think there's a lot of sickness going around. I honestly think so, and this exposes a touch more of it. Now, a lot of people said Bo DeMayo, he did such a good job. We're on his side. I don't really know. I can't really say. All I can say is I've seen his social media, and I find that he's a bit of a pervert, in my opinion. And I can only speak for myself.
Yeah. Well, it's like I was saying, I think something happened and somebody got pissed off because they could have got rejected or whatever and blabbed and here
it
this
could have
is.
been. It could have also been somebody using their higher position to manipulate people for sex. We don't know.
Yeah.
But it kind of sounds that way, honestly, but we don't know. The male's confirmation, yes, it says confirmation, raises serious questions about Marvel's internal culture. Sometimes I have to reread a word because I'm like, sounds a little funny, but yeah, that's what it says.
All I know is I would not want to work for Marvel. I couldn't stand it.
I wouldn't want to work with Marvel or DC.
No, I don't want to work for him.
It reminds me of that story about UBI Soft, which I know a lot of people say Ubi or UB, but I say UBI Soft, where they had a lot of similar things happening in their office and it leaked out. I'm betting most offices that have a lot of money to throw around have a lot of sickos and misconduct, misconduct.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's rampant in the corporate sector, especially in the really high money stuff.
Yes, even when you don't account for LGBTQ, then the mind virus, so to speak. Even when you don't account for that, there's still plenty of sickness to go around. Even if we get that, where it's not corrupting everything in its path, where you can be that, just be that over there. There's still plenty of sickness to be had. I mean, that doesn't mean we're clean now. The house is clean. It doesn't mean that.
No. As long as people think they can get by with anything, that's exactly what they're going to do.
But, as Yasto says, 11 watching, 7 likes, show some support and hit the like button. Yeah, math, 7 and 11. This isn't mathing. Hey, Phoenix, did you hit the like?
Yes.
If you did it twice, that counts it backwards, right?
Yeah.
Hey, did you hit the like?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Really?
I did. Yes, I'm sure.
You know what it is, don't you? It typically looks kind of like this, and you hit it once where it like lights up, right? Not this one. It's this one, right?
You're such a smart ass. You're such a smart ass. Oh my God. You're such a smart ass. Why you gotta be a smart ass?
Because I don't want to be a dumbass. Okay.
No.
Okay. To be fair, we're all guilty of being dumbasses from time to time. It don't matter if you're the smartest person in the world, you will have dumbass moments. That is undeniable. And if you deny it, you're probably a dumbass.
You got a point there.
I don't even know what to do with you people anymore. I just don't. There's no hope. None. This has gotten really crazy.
You know, they don't even have 7-Elevens around here.
Oh yeah, they don't.
Nope.
They don't have a lot of things around here.
But to be fair, yeah, they don't have much. I could probably name every one of them on two hands. You know, all the brands of stores and such.
What they do have around here is an abundance of meth heads.
If we're counting the immediate area, I could name them on one hand.
Oh yeah.
We all live 2 weeks from everywhere, and if Walmart don't have it, you don't need it.
So, fuck this. It's giving me lag and delay on bringing up the comments, but it says on many streams where I'm a mod, and even the other mods forget to like the stream. Yeah, that's true. I know I go to streams and everybody's like it. I'm like, fuck no. You know, this is just something I got playing in the background. It's okay, I guess. But I'm not going to do it. That may be asinine of me, but it makes me understand that a lot of people are that way.
Yeah.
I'll just say, this is a very small channel with a very small audience. So it would be appreciated. The likes kind of go into nothingness because they're already a little bit up there, or in some cases way up there. A few likes here and there makes a difference for a channel this small.
Yeah, it does.
I graduated with 4.0 in college, and I'm still a bit retarded. Isn't it funny that's a mark of intellect, but nobody goes 4.0?
You do have a good point. I never really thought about it like that. But there's a lot of things that I really don't consider until somebody may mention it, you know. But that's a good thing, though, because everybody needs to redirect their perspective every so often. It keeps things from getting stale.
I know these streams like this don't provide like no great entertainment. In general, some may, but in general, it's something that somebody watches, passes time, and maybe they find charming. Maybe, you know, whatever. It could be this little aspect, that little aspect. But here I am. I'm doing it. So let's try to make the best of it. Yep, he says, that's my point, Yasto. That's my point. People like smashing Hypno don't need the likes that much, but that must be a typo. They hit them.
They get
they
them.
They hit.
Yep. No, yeah, they hit them. I'll show you, Smash.
But you know, it's just interesting to see. I like to see everybody's different perspectives on things, because you know, if you never say anything different, then how are you going to learn anything? You know?
Well, you know, that's what I get from a lot of my viewers is like, well, your show's different. And I'm hoping that's a good thing.
I think so.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's a real good thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have someone who, you know, over here that pets their pussy for hours on end.
Oh, Phoenix, I told you not to do that in public.
And he holds on like, you know, like his life depends on it. He's like this.
You gotta survive somehow.
I think his pussy's going. I think he's afraid his pussy's going to run away with him or something.
But you know, I in fact have a clip for that. I just gotta find it. You know, look at me all amateur looking. I don't, you know, I'm not like, oh, I got this button thing. Then it plays. I gotta hunt and peck this shit, right?
Feedy's riding his wild pussy down the road.
Oh yeah, there's this one. And of course, this is the one works better.
All the young girls who want to make life with pussy, your pussy will perish with you in hell. May your pussy perish with you. May your smooth pussy, creamier pussy, and tight pussy perish.
Put that poor cat down. Yeah, that preacher's got issues. He shouldn't even be a preacher talking like that. He ought to be ashamed of himself.
Yep. Well, one thing I do different here is most of these streams in this sphere of things, it's video games and titties, video games and titties, video games and titties, video games and titties, and the money clip, money.
Oh.
Yeah, I try to be different. I am different. Fuck, I am different. And like it or don't like it, it's up to you. But I hope people do. Now it says Slavery Game says the hardest part about schools these days is actually trying to learn something in the middle of all the propaganda, and that's absolutely true. But I want to follow up some what I said. I'm not trying to insult people. I know a lot of people love that money clip, and a lot of people love to play it. And if you like it, great. There's no shortage of it. I watch these streams. I'm a fan of a lot of these people, but this stuff bores into your head. It's like, oh, not this song again, not this clip again. You do get some of that, or a lot of us do.
Well, the first few times I liked those clips, but after a while they kind of got on my nerves. Not saying their streams are bad. They're not. It's just they need to change up the clips every now and then.
Phoenix is over there like, pussy delivery. We got big ones. We got little ones. We got dry ones. We got wet ones. We got black ones, white ones, black and white ones. We got orange ones. We got them with claws. We got them without claws.
You know
what? Every time.
We got fat pussy. We got skinny pussy.
You know what, Noise? I could see you being the doorman for that place. I could see it. I think you'd be good at it.
No, that brings to mind, I've told the story how I was a bouncer for a long time. And then I tell people my height. I'm like 5'10", right? I'm not a big man. And a lot of them go, 5'10" bouncer. Okay, motherfucker. Do you say that shit about the MMA fighters or the boxers? Because some of them are like 5'7", and they'd whoop your goddamn ass all over the place. They'd knock that fucking laugh out of you permanently. Mm-hmm. And I probably would too. That's some ignorant ass shit. He's big. That means he's better. Goddamn, are you 2 years old? Are you goddamn 2 years old? Do you know nothing about fighting? Nothing?
Yeah.
I remember a lot of people would kind of, snicker because you were shorter than the usual bouncer until you had to handle your business. They weren't snickering anymore. Because I remember several occasions you would throw people out because first you were nice, and then they didn't pay attention, and then you tried to be more nice, and they still didn't pay attention, and then you had to use force.
No,
that's the way it worked.
I'm not exactly a young man anymore. This was like 20 years ago. But yes, for many years, I indeed was a bouncer. And yeah, they always look at me, are you serious? You're not really that, because I'm not some big guy like all the fucking bouncers are real fat or real tall or something. But no, I've had years of martial arts training. I've had survival training. I grew up actually fist fighting like all the fucking time. It was a natural course for me, and I was very good at it.
Didn't people hire you to protect them?
Yeah,
Boys?
and fight for them, fight their fights for them, and all that dumb
What
shit.
I thought, yeah.
So Yasto says, I'm 5'11", but so what? I'm an ex-military and work as a senior security officer. Height is not that important, brother. And yes, it is not. But you get a lot of dumbasses that are like 5'10" bouncer. I'd like to see it, you know, and it's like, God damn, are you 5 years old? Or where are you getting this mentality? You know, you don't say this shit about MMA fighters or boxers. I mean, the quickest thing you can do is look at somebody and go, they're not that big. I can take them. Guess what's going to happen?
Gonna get your
Take
ass.
a wild fucking guess. Yeah, just take a guess what's going to happen.
It's not about what you can do. It's about what you will do.
Exactly.
That's what I tell people. It's like, I can whoop their ass. It's like, it's not about what you can do. It's about what they will do. You may be faster. You may be stronger. But they know what to do, and they are willing to do it, and they will do it quick. Like, they won't hesitate.
I remember one time my father, he got into it with somebody, and they were bigger than he was. Now, my dad wasn't a small person, but he wasn't very tall. He was just kind of built. And they was kind of, making fun of him because they thought they could take him and stuff. And he didn't say a word. He just got up and they was doing all this getting in your face and all talking and shit. He just cracked them in the head. And they fell. And he went back to fixing his truck. He didn't think nothing about it. He just popped them in the head and they went down, and he went back and he got his beer and he went to fixing his truck. He said, problem solved.
When I'm fighting, and again, I don't really do that now. When I was young, I'd fight. A fight is a fight, and there was no such thing as fair fighting. There was things you would avoid so you wouldn't get prison, but there was no such thing as a fair fight. It didn't matter if you had to hook them under the ribs or hook them in the jaw or bite the fuck out of any part of them. When it came to a real fight, what the fuck you think it's about? You do what you got to do.
Oh,
yeah.
You're not playing. You're not playing here. You're in it to fucking win.
Mm-hmm. Well, you want to dispose of the problem as quickly as possible without much damage to yourself. So, that's the thing. You're going to do what you got to do to survive.
You don't let it carry on and on and on. You do it as quickly as possible by whatever means necessary without causing death or, if possible, no permanent harm.
Yeah. That's the way it should be. But anyway. It just never ceases to amaze me, people's ability to underestimate people, that they think they can run over because they're bullies. Anybody that wants to run over somebody simply because they think they can is a bully.
Yeah, depending on how you look at it, there's no such thing as a fair fight, or there's no such thing as an unfair fight. A fight's a fight, and you do what you got to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I started young because I had, I think, 6 siblings, and they treated me like a punching bag. And, I got so old, and every one of them were scared shitless of me because I fought like a wild animal. But, it was my natural course to go into martial arts and security and all such back then. But Phoenix was going to say he's got work tomorrow.
Yeah, so I better
get rest. And he's about to fly away or something because he's holding on. He got to get back to his pussies.
Now, I do have my own videos on Rumble, so I guess I should probably post my link in there and everything. Let's see. I think this is how you do it.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah,
And
he posted it to his Rumble.
Okay.
and I'm not sure if I can do it on YouTube or not, but I'll try.
No, I don't believe you can.
People can copy and paste it then.
Yeah, you have a simple, easy to remember name, or somewhat easy.
Yeah.
Although psychologically speaking, it sounds like you're going me reject.
Well, I'm that too,
Yeah.
so.
But to be fair, I call myself a reject all the time. I say this is the land of rejects. I mean, if you're on this show, you're a reject, and if you're not, what are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Phoenix. Now it's us. So
Okay.
But-
A lot of I have articles lined up to read, but what I've got highlighted is a lot of reading, so it may bore some people, but this is part of the process. You get on here and you read news or things that people may find interesting, although at times it will bore people. But that's what we're here for, to bore people, I guess, right? But for me to I'll take a moment to grift. Let's see.
we don't have a penny box like Ryan does. We're just broke. We need money. But seriously, like and subscribe and all that stuff.
So as it says there, go to my Rumble and hit that $sign or the gift box to support us. We really need it. I also have a link. This works through PayPal. There's a donation link there. It works through PayPal. If you are so inclined, support us, help us out. If not, it's good just having you here.
Yeah. Either way is fine.
But money's better. But anyway.
That's like that Black Sabbath song that says wine is fine, but whiskey's quicker.
That's an Ozzy song, actually.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Off his first album.
Well, I guess to me, Ozzy and Black Sabbath is kind of interchangeable.
No, the Black Sabbath was bluesier, had some funk and some groove to it. Ozzy's sound was more streamlined, a little lighter.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is without Ozzy, there never would have been a Black Sabbath in the first place. So I've kind of always just put them two together.
Okay, we get it. It's woman logic. We get it. You don't have.
To hell with you.
Already there. Okay. Epic Games CEO, he says, AI for artificial intelligence prompts to create all video game characters dialogue in the next few years. Empower small teams to make Breath of Wild size games. Yeah, I don't want. I mean, you can use AI as a tool to help, but I don't want AI solely creating anything. I think that's just an absolutely bad idea. He has proposed the idea within the next few years it could be possible to feed an AI a character synopsis and have it produce all their dialogue. He believes this would enable even a development team of just 10 people to produce a game on the scale of The Legend of Zelda Breath of Wild. Sweeney championed the idea that AI prompts will be a fundamental part of game engines, resulting in an entirely new genre of games invented that weren't possible or practical before. I am so against this. You can use AI to help you along, but when you're going, oh, AI is going to do this entire part, I am so against this. Not only does it take away jobs It takes away the skilled people who do it skillfully. But, you know, it's going to produce a lot of slop, you know, a lot of derivative generic things, because after all, AI is by nature derivative.
Yeah. I mean, there is no way AI could put the human emotion into dialogue that a person can.
They can fake. I mean, yeah, it's all fake, but in that sense, they can make some passable things, but they can't make really great things. If AI gets real good, it could do some really good things, but it would get old quick because it's all derivative. There's no critical thinking. There's no unique perspective. It's all the same again and again.
Yeah.
AI characters giving you the possibility of infinite dialogue with a really simple setup for creators means small teams will be able to create games with immense amounts of characters and interactive worlds, Sweeney proposed. What would it take for a 10-person team to build a game like Zelda Breath of the Wild, which the AI is just doing all the dialogue and you're just writing some character synopsis? That's totally going to be within reach over the next few years. So this is the CEO of Epic speaking. Epic, who is over the Unreal Engine, and Epic, they try to run their own store, not very successfully. Yeah, I can see this implemented into the Unreal Engine, which means everybody's gonna be like, this is the engine, this is the go-to engine. We're not creating our own engines anymore. It's Unreal, everything's Unreal. And they're like, oh, hey, look, it's a AI dialogue option. So their boss is gonna be like, you have that option, use it. Imagine, as it is, 90% of the games, and don't say that number literally, I'm speaking figuratively, 90% of the games out there run Unreal Engine. Now think if they all use AI dialogues as well.
Oh, that's gonna stink. It's going to be more cookie cutter stuff where everything is the same.
And they all inherit the same flaws that's within the software.
Yeah. I mean, what if you buy one game like that, you might as well say you've played them all.
Games that already utilize AI generated dialogue include Suck Up. Oh, how fitting.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's a fitting name.
There's also a demand for AI characters, as the My Robot Kickstarter campaign achieved 391% funding to the tune of $78,000. The developers argued their game would be the first good character simulator that used AI.
I don't believe it.
Just trying to take a moment to process that. AI characters. What are they doing? That they're having AI simulate the characters or make the characters? I'm unsure on it, but either way, it doesn't sound great to me. AI generated dialogue in its current form is far from perfect. However, while SAG-AFTRA, however you want to pronounce that, demanded a cut from AI Darth Vader in Fortnite. Yes, they had a Darth Vader in Fortnite, and it was ran by an AI. And yeah, the players had fun getting it to say certain things, but I suppose I could see why they demanded a cut. I mean, it was skilled voice talent, it was skilled writers and makeup and costume design that made that character possible and famous. I could kind of see why they'd want to cut, but I would have to know the further details on what really went down to know what exactly they're saying there, but immediately that's my take on it. It's unfortunate that the advent of modern AI has been tainted by companies just ripping massive amounts of content off of other companies and individuals on the web, but on a base level of technology, it should be multiplying factor and multiplying force on our abilities, Sweeney insisted. That's how AI works. You have no AI without it ripping everyone's data. That's how AI works. I think he has a great misunderstanding of AI.
Either that or they're paying him to say it.
He's the CEO. I mean, he's at the top.
Well, I mean, like government money and stuff like that. You know.
It says here, yeah, AI scripts are shite.
Very true.
But yeah, I think he has a fundamental lack of understanding of what AI is and how it works, especially with that comment that I just read out by him. Sweeney and Epic Games are unlikely to relent from AI and aren't going to be hoarding their advances to themselves. We're taking what we learned from Darth Vader and sharing the underlying technology with the creator community, which that is essentially saying they're going to incorporate it, integrate it into the Unreal Engine so everyone can do this. This is gonna be ugly. This is gonna be so ugly.
This is going to get ugly real fast. Real fast. And once they get started doing that, there won't be any coming back from it, I don't think. Not easily, anyway.
Well, it's kind of like these trends that keep getting set, like $80 games, like everyone using Unreal Engine. These are bad trends that are going to come back to bite everyone involved. And the people, they're just going to go along with it. And it's like, look at this great new game. Look at it. 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 And I'm like, I am looking at it. I don't know what you're seeing, but I'm seeing a bunch of shit. I'm seeing the overused engine that they don't have worked out well. And it is lack of originality because all these games are starting to look the same. And soon we will be seeing all the dialogue made by AI. So you always are going to have these people that eat up every new thing. And therein lies the problem.
Well, I mean, now, save for a very select few, like the Monkey King was one, and Expedition 33 was another, and Cyberpunk. Those games were different. All the rest of them out, they look the same.
Even these games that we say these are great games, even they have their issues. If you look at them hard enough and you've seen how it all really went down, they all have their issues, even if they turn out to be a great game.
Yeah.
People generally don't look that far, but they should. They should, because just like we're fighting wokeism, we have more to worry about than wokeism. That's something that I believe, just my opinion, that the community starts need taking notice of. But I doubt it will happen much. Some will, some won't. And that's just my opinion. That's just my take on it. And I'm bringing the noise on it. A little bit of noise. Just a little bit.
just a little. Just a little.
Yes, Expedition 33, great game. I obtained the game. And yes, this is a great game. It too is Unreal Engine. I don't like that. But I also understand if someone wants to make a game quick with a smaller team, that's the way to go to get these great graphics and all. I understand that. But I believe we should have a wide variety of engines to choose from, and people should have skilled workers who know how to create engines still. And that is becoming a thing of the past. They're bringing in these new programmers, developers that have no clue how to make a game engine. They're like, oh, we weren't taught that. And it's like, that's okay. We got one for you ready. And you were taught how to use this. That is not being taught how to program. That is being taught how to use a programming tool. Again, just my opinion. I'm sure they have some skills. Sure they do, but not like the people used to. Not, like back, I guess by today's standards, back then they were the masters.
Well, I mean, I don't code or anything like that, but if I wanted to make a video game, I wouldn't want to use Unreal Engine. I would want to create something of my own to use. But that's just me.
Well, creating a game engine is a massive undertaking, and it takes a massive team and a massive amount of money. That's why everybody goes to what's available and what's easiest, and They've already been taught how to use it. But going down that route, we will, all the games will start to look the same. They'll have the same bugs. It will lack originality. It will lack functions that they could achieve if they had otherwise had alternative engines or made their own. It's just a bad idea for everybody to go down the exact same path.
Yeah. I mean, where's the spark? You know what I mean? Where's the spark of originality? Like when I remember used to, when you got a new game and you were playing it for the first time, I mean, it was like you were in amazement of the art and the work that went into creating that thing. And it kind of swept you in to that world.
Well,
where now
more and
it's
more, they're giving them these, like, I don't know, almost pastel looking colors. The inking jobs, if you will, on them look like one shade and then a swipe blend on it. They're all starting to look, they're all going for that cell shaded look, and they're all going for that anime look, and they're all, to me, and I'm older, but to me, they're all looking like they're being made for little kids that are, hey, I like anime. Yes, I know adults like anime, but do we need everything out there to look and sound and feel like an anime? No, we don't.
well, that's my thing. I mean, I miss the days when you had a choice of what you played. You had a choice, and not everything was one art style. There's a plethora of different art styles to choose from. And it's just sad that the game makers, a lot of them, are choosing the same art. It gets redundant. It gets old really, really quick. That's why a lot of people are choosing older games now instead of the new ones, because the older ones are more fun to play. Better story, better art, better gameplay. So, I mean, it's just sad that the developers now, a lot of the games are basically one gigantic thing that's the same all the way through. And that's sad. It's the same thing with the TV shows and stuff. It's like they're all the same script. You know, it's old. It gets old real fast. Me personally, I like games with that spark your imagination, like good stories, and when you want to discover what's around the corner, and you want to figure out what the puzzle is, and what it leads to, and your choices in the game matter, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point there. That's why people count on indie developers to make proper games nowadays. A lot of these indie developers, they're in it for the passion. Of course, they're in it for money too, but it's a passion for programming. Some of them that they miss the old days, and maybe they want to make something unique. They're not getting their orders as down the line. No, make one of these now. This is the time to make a game exactly like this. It's a passion project, right? And that's exactly my point. That is why you're most likely to get the greatest things out of indie developers, providing that this whole woke movement, LGBTQ, doesn't take that crowd over as well, which it already has partially, but not entirely. Yeah, that's the key word. It's their passion. It's a passion project. Whereas these AAA games are lifeless a good many amount of time, most time possibly. Of course,
it's the same thing.
Yeah, like I said before, dog disagrees.
Yeah,
It's like I said before, you got people who eat up everything that comes their way. It's like, new game, I gotta buy it, I gotta play it. It's like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. And I'm like, that's a bit much. That's a bit much, you know.
Well,
Maybe you have a bit of an addiction. I don't know, but I've never been one to do that. Even if the games are coming for me for free, right? I'm not hopped on the latest everything.
yeah, I think, I can't see spending $80 for a game that looks just like every other game and sounds just like every other game. I just can't see spending the money on it. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
it's like they throw a different theme on it and re-release the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Well, that's like when Guild Wars 2 first came out. I was like, wow. But as time went on, it became more and more and more woke.
Okay, yes, they casually put wokeism or woke elements into Guild Wars 2, but the game got to be where there was no sense of progression. There was just a billion different kind of currencies, and you had 100 different items that you didn't know if you should get rid of or not. And it felt like unfinished quest, and you'd go do it, and it didn't do anything for you or your character. And it just got to be this lost, hopeless kind of feel to the game. Even though the action was all right, the flying on mountains, the vast lands, it was all good, but it's like they quit giving a fuck about the game and the players.
Yeah.
It's like let's give them busy work where they're gonna travel around the world just for a pop up on the screen.
Yeah, and now what everybody does is the fashion wars. That's it. They don't really.
If we have an awkward moment where I'm looking off screen and she's like going, what I say? I'm looking at my different streams, and Kick is dead in the water. 0 viewers. I had first stream, I had like 8 or 10. Second, I had 2. Third, I had 1. Now I have none. Maybe it's not for this kind of content. I don't know. Doing all right for my channel. As far as my channel goes, I'm doing all right on YouTube. Okay on Rumble. Kick is like, nope. They're not having it. They're not having any noise pollution.
Well, they can fuck right on off then. But yeah, I don't know. I wish there would be a renaissance in art and music and science and learning and the whole 9 yards, because that's what people need. They need a renaissance. And the dog agrees.
It's a good time to cover another article, I believe. The viewers are good, but the chat, not so much, but yeah. Oh yeah, let's see. Let's see what it says. Y'all still games like Expedition 33, Tainted Grail, and Stellar Blade are all the hype now, and I'm glad about it. Stellar Blade just 3 million games sold, both on console and PC. Yes, this has been a tremendous hit. I know there was some hiccups for the way Sony was treating it. Yeah, I'm glad for Stellar Blade. I'm not familiar with Tainted Grail, honestly, but Expedition 33 was great. Stellar Blade, not my kind of game, but I'm glad for it. It did go against some standards that's set for today. It kind of was like, fuck you, we're going this way. So that's why I'm glad for it.
Hi, Fizzle Gig.
Yeah, welcome, Fizzle Gig. And the dog welcomes you as well.
Yeah, that's Big Shirley. She's mad because I got her behind the baby gate.
No one wants to play an action game, video game as a fat chick. Yeah, imagine that. You go to try to make a jump and fall way short. And as you're falling, you see the fat make waves.
Hey, no, that's awful.
No shade, my bigger ladies. It's like he still wants to hit that fat. He wants to slap it and ride the waves. He wants to wrap it in rubber before he sticks it in the blubber.
Oh, ew, that's wrong.
Fat chicks need love too. Yeah, so do old ones, but you gotta draw a line somewhere. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you gotta say no at some point. That's the way it works.
Like, let me get my Ben Gay out first. Like, Ben Gay, how long you been gay? My girlfriend was a fat chick, and then she started walking. Like, she didn't walk first. Like, she just like decided to never walk and got fat, and then figure out how to walk, and then got unfat. No, but I get what you're saying. 60 pounds in 6 months. That's not bad. If you lose it too quick, it's unhealthy. And walking is actually a very good way of losing weight. It really is. Yeah, walking for exercise.
That's quite an accomplishment. That's no easy task to lose weight.
Yeah,
I've tried.
Yeah, but finding it is easy.
Oh, what you can find it just fine. It's the losing that's the problem. I mean, you can find weight all day long. I mean, hell, some people just look at a piece of cake and they're fat. So.
Okay. I am posting my kick link.
He said her big concern was the excess skin.
That is a concern. You can go to I don't know, type of surgeon to get that skin cut and tightened, but that's very expensive and doesn't always have the best outcome.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're big enough and you lose weight, you will get that excess skin, unfortunately. But it's still better to lose the weight, even if you have that.
But yeah, that's quite an accomplishment. I know, a lot of people think that, oh, I'm fat, so I'll just not eat. That's not the way to do it, because you mess your electrolytes up and stuff like that, and then you have a hard time getting that back. So,
Fizzle Gig, are you just on Kick, or do you have accounts on others as well, like YouTube and Rumble, for example?
Oh, he says he keeps telling his girlfriend you're trying to find a hotter guy.
Well, you do find that a lot. Sometimes, in some cases, is both the man and woman lose weight. Sometimes usually just the woman. You hear the story a lot. Woman loses a bunch of weight. She leaves her boyfriend or husband, like, bam, so quick, like, pff, she's gone. That behavior sickens me to the core. Like they say, she's for the streets. That's the thing the younger people say. That's some slang I can get behind. She's for the streets. In general, I don't like slang, but some of it I like. Hey, thanks. +1 on Kick.
So
every little bit counts.
He said she's 55 and he's 49.
Fizzle Gig, you're just a year and a bit more older than I am, but younger than Elijah there.
Yeah.
But Elijah, are you 55 or younger? What are you?
I'm not 55.
50. Fuck, I don't know. I can hardly keep up my own age.
I'll be 53 soon. I don't feel 53. It's just a number.
Yes, says I've given my trust and my heart to her, and that's great. It is, truly is. It's also dangerous. I encourage people to fall in love, and true love. With that said, more often than not, it ends in deep, intense heartbreak and permanent trauma. And
Yeah.
if you can do it without that, yeah, go for it. Go for it. Actually, I'm against the hookup culture, you know, and the high body counts and the one night stands. I'm not for that. I've always been a for love kind of person. Not to say I haven't had my adventures, but I always meant for more while they didn't.
No, Yasto, I'll be 53 soon.
Yeah, and I will. Fuck. Let's see. I will be. I think I'll be 48 later this year. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't keep up with birthdays.
Look, some people take it bad when I say it, but I always fucking say it anyway. Always have a backup or two or three.
Now,
Okay, it's fucked up. Listen, it's fucked up, right? I know it's fucked up. I'm like, you know, be faithful. And yeah, I encourage you, be faithful. Of course. But have backups. Keep backups.
What, you got them tagged in the closet or something?
Yeah, what you gotta do?
You got them tagged and numbered in the closet? Oh, goodness.
Well, you know, I don't put much importance on birthdays. I don't really keep up. I mean, with anybody's. Of course, you should know your own, right? You should know your own age, but I don't put much importance on it. I don't keep up with it. When I was younger, you know, and my family was always a bunch of hard asses and a bit nuts. And if I brought up my birthday, they would make it a fucking point to make me miserable. Because they're like, don't even bring that shit up to me, you know? So I guess it was kind of ingrained to me that it's meaningless. It's just another day. Why the fuck you gonna, you know?
Yeah.
It's just the way I was raised, if you will.
Well, I know I had my mother stuck at 45 years old for years. I never could remember how old she was.
Well, I guess the question who hurt you has been answered. Who hasn't? Okay, I'm not somebody who's gonna be like, I'm hard as steel, nothing hurts me. No, you know, I'm human. You know, I got feelings. I'm human. Shit affects me. Even if it don't seem like it does, it does. I'm human like anybody. I feel things, you know. We're all fucked up like that.
Well,
James out. Roadkill 101. My backup's that blonde chick crying. That blonde crying chick that randomly twerks for no reason. Yeah, so it's like he's gonna be like, hey, have you met my girlfriend? And she's gonna be and twerking. She's gonna be crying, falling on the ground, twerking, like, hey, yeah, that's her. That's the one. That's the one. I put a ring on it.
He's gonna have her trained to twerk at will on command. He's gonna have her trained to twerk on command.
Right, look. Says pats the couch. Tell me about your mother.
She is the queen of all bitches.
To be fair, my mother is no longer alive.
Yeah.
But she was vicious. She was so fucking vicious. I never met someone that vicious in my life. She knew how to get at you, and she was unrelenting in her rage.
I have never seen anybody. I've never seen anybody else that could bitch like she could. I mean, my God, she could bitch for a year straight. I've seen her do it. It's like, dear God, are you still on that? I don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
She would bitch like no one I've ever met before.
Yes.
And see, I made it a point to not be that way. I have it in me. It's somewhere in there, but I'm like, I will not let that be a part of me. I bitch a little, but oh god damn, nothing like that. And he says, Physical Gig says, sounds like my ex. I wish she was no longer with us. Twerking and crying at the same time. Damn. Damn.
Roadkill's got it going on if you could train that girl to do that.
I'm sure all of you have seen this, but just for a reference point.
Me! Shoot me! Love me!
No. No. No.
What is your background? I like to pick pleasing looking backgrounds, and in my opinion, I suppose my taste and what I can find is available. But here's my background.
That's pretty. I like it. No, Roadkill. Roadkill, no. She needs some butter beans and cornbread or something. I mean, she needs some itis food.
Yeah, okay. You might know the itis reference from, what was that show called?
Boondocks.
Yeah, from the Boondocks, the black people cartoon. It was a great show. I love that show actually. But you might know that reference from that, but we know that reference from being in the South. Most of what Southerners eat will knock you the fuck out. You finish your food, you're out. You're just out for the next few hours. You're fucking out.
The black people cartoon.
Okay. Listen. The brown people cartoon. Is that better? The brown people cartoon.
No. Oh, Fizzle Gigs want to know where we're from. Right here.
Alabama, Mississippi area. But I grew up, I don't have that accent so much because I grew up in the north for a while. And she grew up more in the city, more so as far as the South goes.
Yeah. Black people. That just got me tickled. The black people cartoon.
Tell me you're not from America without telling me you're not from America.
Well.
Yeah, that cartoon with those brown people. Hey, at least I didn't call them chocolate people.
Chocolate people. Well, the thing is
it's like, what do you mean they don't taste anything like chocolate?
Ew. Well, this area, you may as well be in another country because it's kind of like that. The rural South is worlds different than even southern cities because it's a whole subculture of mannerisms and language and the whole 9 yards. If you do not speak Southern, I'm not talking about city Southern, I'm talking about rural Southern. There is a difference. If you can't
I can't
speak
talk
it,
like that.
You will never get by.
One thing I always found wildly entertaining is the way that a lot of Southerners say why. They don't say why. They go wah. Don't they? They go wah.
Yeah.
And I make fun of them. I make fun of them relentlessly for it.
Why?
Some go wah and some actually go wah.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand how they do that either. I can't. But I go why or whatever.
Well, that actually reminds me. One of my brothers, when he was a kid, We were in Michigan actually at the time, and it was with my mother, and he seen a family of black people, and he ran up to them, got in their face pointing, chocolate people, look, chocolate people. But he also, this was a long ass time ago. It was when the Wonder Woman TV show was on TV, the 70s one. I think that was the late 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He watched it, and he was a little kid, of course, and he says, her boobies are made out of cotton. I want to squeeze them.
Oh my God. Ah. I used to watch the Wonder Woman TV show.
My first son, he's actually 30 or older now. Yeah, I'm old. But my first son, when he was a baby, I taught him something bad, but I didn't know he would carry it on. So he was a little kid, and he'd be in a buggy, like being pushed in the cart, right, in a store. And if it was a woman pushing it, he would grab him and go honk honk.
You taught that, but oh my God.
He would also slap all their asses.
Oh God. Oh, Fizzlegig said, you in Alabama, but you sound like you're a Swedish death metal singer.
I've heard that before. Actually, I got a story that kind of goes along that line. When I was a bouncer, the band Kitty, the all-female band Kitty, I was a bouncer when they were playing one night. And I don't remember which female it was. I remember it was the one that goes by Mercedes, and she had red hair at the time. She came up to me mostly because I wasn't like there, trying to get with her like everybody else was. I told them to back off because I was a bouncer, right? And it got her attention because she thought I was Swedish. And she wanted me to go on tour with them. She wanted to hook up with me, and I said no because I had responsibilities and I had kids and all. But anyway, that's the story.
Oh, she was hot for you, Noise. I remember that. I remember that. She goes, who is that? And I told her, and then you came around and you wasn't paying her no attention. And she liked you for it. She liked you because you weren't paying her any attention.
my accent, sometimes it shifts a little here and there, but not usually toward the southern. Not usually. But it is the way it is because I partly grew up in Michigan, Alabama, Mississippi, Florida. And because, like I was saying earlier in the stream, I was always an extreme rebel to everything, including if people spoke with one type of accent, I was like, fuck you, I'm not going to talk like that. Whatever, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Russian accent. I'm not good at doing accents, actually.
Fizzlegig, where are you from? I'm just curious. Oh, I see how it is. Smoke them if you got them. I ain't got none right now. I'm gonna have to come over and steal some.
I don't smoke regularly. Just now and then. I'll have one that I'm like, oh goddamn, that left a bad taste in my mouth. I don't want another one.
Then you got to get something to drink, and then you smoke some more. But
okay,
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring up another article. This conversing is great. I like this. But I want to get in an article here and there. Fantasy author threatens to sue reader over posting screenshots of her AI prompts she accidentally left in a book. Can you imagine that? You publish a book and it has the AI prompts inside the book?
That's cheating. She didn't write it. She got the AI to do it.
Well, actually, it gets into that, and it just says she used it as a tool to help her. But how amateur would you have to be, and your editor, to leave the prompts in there?
Yeah.
Now, I've dabbled in writing. I've kind of fell out of it, but I was good at it once upon a time, and I wouldn't have used AI at all, actually. But if you do as a tool, I guess good for you, whatever works. But you don't want to let it do too much, because then it's not you anymore. Kate Seeger, how would you say that?
Seeger.
Kate Seeger found herself embroiled in an incredible amount of drama on Threads. Who uses Threads? But anyway, after her new fantasy book was called out for having 5 AI prompts left in the book, she threatened to sue the person who revealed it, leading to her deleting her Threads account. So 5 times the AI prompt was in there, and the person says, "Hey, look at this. This dumb bitch left AI prompts in her book." And it's like, "I'm going to sue them. I'm going to sue them."
Oh, God.
What? It would have been more graceful to say, "Yes, I use this as a tool to help my writing along, and this was a mistake, and I apologize for it." That would have been the smart, graceful way to be about it, right?
Yeah.
Over the last few weeks, there's been a massive uptick in instances of authors getting savaged over leaving AI prompts in their books. So this has been happening a lot, apparently. Revealing that they'd been using generative AI to write the text. That to me, that's a big no-no. You don't. No, you can use it as an editing tool, but you don't let it write the lines. A few weeks ago, this made headlines news as a book got Lena McDonald attention across different media outlets. Now, a new fantasy arc has a similar story. Kate Seeger claims she doesn't use generative AI for actual writing, just uses it to help her edit. She ended up leaving in her prompts in her most recent book 5 times. Now, if you're just using this editing tool, I'm okay with that. But anything past that, no. But the fact you left 5 times the prompt in it, I would say that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to sue the reader for it. That's bullshit.
What created more of a drama storm, however, was Seeger's reaction to getting called out about the AI use. While most would agree there's nothing wrong with running your text through an AI for suggestions on edits, her reaction on threatening the users were putting up on the screenshots and showing she used AI was something beyond what professional authors should do. And I so agree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was in there 5 times. And to me, that's more like, oh, you left the AI edits for use them as your own words. That is something totally different than using it to edit with.
Okay, to be fair, I don't know if it was just an editing tool or not, but the fact that it was left in is bad enough.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, doesn't she have an editor? Doesn't she proofread it? Doesn't she have proofreaders? But then, when pointed out, she threatened to sue the person that pointed out. She should have acknowledged it, apologized with a brief explanation, and carried on.
Yeah. I mean, she just got too bent out of shape over it, in my opinion.
This is where she went off the rails with another post saying, "And since I know you have little spies lurking on my post, here's a reminder of copyright law as it currently stands. I think tweaking a few sections with AI doesn't preclude it from copyright. Sorry." So she's being nasty about it.
She's being
accusing them of having spies. Whether they actually have spies, I doubt it. But I can't say. But it is so tacky the way she's going about all this. It's so tacky because she made a mistake and now won't own up to it.
Well, it's just sad. The whole thing is sad that somebody that's supposed to be a professional would react to this like this,
She then delved into threats against readers for posting sections of her arc with the commentary on AI use, which is absurd, as commenting on small sections of a work is fair use and isn't violating of copyright. But Seeger made her threats even more. So she's claiming copyright because they're criticizing her. I'm a bit confused on that. Good, let her do it. I have an excellent lawyer, and I'm not fucking around when I will say I will pursue legal action.
Because they called her out.
Yeah, for leaving AI prompts in her book. I mean, oh, that is, I would feel so bad. I mean, who does that? I mean, like I said, doesn't she have an editor? Doesn't she proofread? Doesn't she have proofreaders? Just what happens to where your book comes out with 5 AI prompts in it?
Well, here's my thing. I was an editor. And as an editor, you have to go through that work with a fine-tooth comb.
Yeah, I got you that job. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you miss something that damn big, you stink as an editor. And that's just the truth.
Zombie or Zombade points out here. Her book better be about AI prompts in order to leave AI prompts inside. Yeah, exactly.
I just don't know. She ought to be ashamed of herself for acting like this.
So she says, she doubled down further in another comment. I hope she doesn't take them down. I would literally sue her. I am not above paying for a lawyer just to be petty. No one should ever underestimate my pettiness. Who, you know what kind of women say stuff like that other than petty women?
Bitches?
Yeah, I'll let you make your own minds on that one.
Oh,
While the use of AI is not a real problem here, Seeger went too far by making threats to readers for talking about her work. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she was sloppy enough to leave 5 prompts in her published book, and now she's trying to threaten and sue people for mentioning it. Can you imagine that? I mean, I, as a writer or an editor, I would be so ashamed. I'd want to crawl under a rock and die.
I'd quit. I would quit. That's it. I would say, you know what? I'm done. I'm not handling your work anymore. You're going to have to get somebody else because this is complete bullshit and I'm not dealing with it anymore. And
yeah, why would anyone write a book if you can't take the criticism? And like I said, I've dabbled in writing, and there will be criticism. There's a phenomenon about writing. If you dare show it to other writers, they're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Editors will all say everything's wrong, but they will all have different reasonings for being wrong. You could put 10 editors together in a room and that book will never get edited because every one of them will say that's the wrong way, and then the other one will go that's the wrong way, and it will continue and continue and continue. You will never please an editor, but this person apparently did not have an editor.
I looked her up, and dear Lord, she has resting bitch face. I mean,
yeah, roadkill. Oh well, yeah. If you're gonna be a shite writer and then lie about the AI use, that deducts points as well. But she looks like an asshole.
Yeah, she does. She does. I looked her up too. I was curious, and dear Lord, ooh, I'd hate to have to deal with her. Could you imagine dealing with her all the time? It makes somebody go insane. It's like, oh my Lord, here she comes. Somebody get her out. I'm going to the house. Somebody else deal with this shit. I'm not dealing with it no more. I'm going home. I was reading what Zombie said.
PVTPPR. I'm not quite sure what that refers to, but one time got an editor. They volunteered to spell check. Eventually, they started correcting their own edits.
You will. You will.
You know,
That's a thing. You will.
You will never please an editor because, okay, let's say they edited a book. Give them a day or two, come back to that same book. They might forget they edited it, and they went, whoever edited this stuff is fucked up and it's all wrong, and it'll be their own editing. You can never please an editor. Never. No. You know, I've shown AI work to editors, and they're like, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. So get this. I've shown best sellers to editors and went, you know, just to confirm it, right? And said, I wrote this and it's bestseller stuff. And they'll go, it's all wrong. You're gonna have to redo all of it. It's all wrong.
Yeah, I've seen you do that too. But Zombie said PVTPPR private equals private paper, a free online system. Oh, okay. Well, I know when I would edit books, I would get all into it, and then I would put it down when I got finished with the first edit. Then I would go back and look over, and I guess it's like fresh eyes kind of thing, where you go back and you look at your edits and you're going, well, you know, I shouldn't have done this like this, you know, it changes around or whatever. Mostly spell checks and grammar and stuff like that, and sentences that might run on too long and stuff. But I don't do it anymore because it is a long, drawn out, boring process, and I hate it.
Well, every editor has a different set of rules of where you put the spaces at, how you bracket a paragraph, you know, a whole bunch of little, you know, nitpicky things. You know, if you put a space between here or you put two spaces after here, and every one of them will be different. And then how the sentence is structured, and if it is proper and correct, none of it's understandable, none of it's a good read or a great story, but to whatever nitpicky rule, and every one of them have a different rule.
Yeah, every one. No two editors edit the same. It's always going to be different.
I've literally shown them paragraphs or pages from hit books, like bestsellers, and they'll go, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. You know, and it's like, yeah, well, this was edited by someone who makes more money than you ever will. So,
yeah, like, okay, yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. So, I was reading what Roadkill said.
Yeah, if I do the rain math matrix correctly, looks plus being shit person divided by personality, we get a West Virginia too.
Yeah.
I am pretty sure the only person who puts two spaces after a sentence to showcase the change of topic. Well, yeah, but here's the thing. When you get in the world of writing, there's it's hit and miss. Some editors prefer every one of them to be that way. And some of them be like, you don't do that. You know, and some of them be like one space, and some two, and some like put it before, put it after, you know. It gets nuts because you will not find anyone that wants to do it the same way.
Yeah. And what Yasto is saying is true. An editor can improve or ruin a good book. It's true.
I thought I was pronouncing it funny, but you're like Yasto.
Yasto. Sorry. I missed the S the first time.
Yes, editor makes quite a bit of difference. I've seen people argue that it's the editor that really writes the book. I mean, yeah, I've ran into editors that be like, it doesn't matter what you do. I'm the one that makes the book. I write the book. And I was like, no, you edit the book. They're like, no, I write the book. You just do the first workup, and then I write the book. It's like, oh, fuck off. It doesn't work that way, but you do run into editors with that attitude.
Well, a good editor, what their job is to polish the creation and make it the best it can be. They don't rewrite anything. They may have suggestions, but it's up to the writer if they use those suggestions or not.
Yeah, they'll say, rephrase this part, and then it's up to the writer to rephrase it.
Mm-hmm.
Some editors will take it upon themselves to rewrite it. I don't agree with that because it can interrupt the flow, especially if your writing is on the poetic side, which some writers write with that flow.
Yeah, like Clive Barker does. He's a very poetic kind of writer. But the writer community is crap. It's a
the
very
writing community
environment.
Is a toxic cesspool.
Mm-hmm.
They will all stab you in the back so quick, so quick.
Yeah, they will. And it's sad. But I find that most artists' communities are like that.
That is a great movie. That is a great movie, it really is. In the Mouth of Madness.
I wish they would do a movie about Mr. Be Gone. I like Mr. B.
So Roadkill says, yeah, my dad has 3 books published so far, but he has to have the government look through them and tell him what he can and can't say. I do know that unless your book is pure fluff crap, or you're a bestseller, you cannot get it to go through Amazon because they're so picky about what they will allow in a book. If you don't go with the same drivel that everyone else is, Amazon will simply reject your book.
Yeah. Most of what's on Amazon now is young adult fiction.
I don't care for young adult fiction. And for that matter, that's what everybody's doing now. That and smut.
Yeah, like that 50 Shades of Grey bullshit.
If you get to reading smut, that shit is humorous. It's not like, oh, I'm feeling tingly. It's more like, God damn, this shit's funny.
It's so silly.
Yeah, has to have the government look through it. That is interesting.
What it is kind of scary. I mean, that you can't just write anything. You have to have the government look through your shit and make sure you're not saying anything you're not supposed to.
Zombie says, I didn't have any problems publishing through Amazon Direct. Every one of my books on Amazon has misspellings and much more grammar problems. Well, that's not what they look for. They look for things that aren't PC enough or too much violence or, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, myself, I was partially in the horror genre, or I would say it fit best in the dark fantasy genre.
Yeah. Like a lot of
my but my shit got graphic.
Yeah. Your stuff was very heavy.
Yeah, it had some graphic parts in it, but it had some emotionally heavy parts in it.
Yeah. It was a good read, but some of the parts in it were so heavy emotionally that you would have to put it down and take a break from it for a while and then come back to it and read it.
I always want to do children's books, like fun, easy read level, but lots of pictures. I like to draw more than write. Well, you know, knowing Roadkill as little or as much as I do, I could see that. And he has a very calm demeanor. It might could, you know, that might work.
I know I tried. I'm an artist, and I tried to draw.
I would say it was more along the lines of a novella.
Yeah, it was a novella. I tried to create comic style characters. It did not work. I tried my best and I failed. I tried,
Well,
but I could not do it.
Having kids will make you a different person, or will for most people that actually go through the shit and, you know, deal with things and not put it off to the side or fuck up a lot or whatever the case. Ones who actually go through the struggle of being a parent, it will change you.
Yeah. I suppose it would do one of two things. It would either drive you insane or make you a better person, or a little bit of both, you know.
Yasto says Roadkill children's books are pretty hard to write because you have to be very careful what you write in it. Keeping the level is tough. Like, yeah, like apparently nowadays you have to put that they play with their stuff between their legs and that they can choose their gender because that's what passes now apparently.
Yeah, that shit's in school libraries and stuff.
And like if they're white or straight, they're inherently evil. Yeah, just go with that. You'll be a big success.
Well, I mean, it's sad because that kind of stuff is in school libraries and stuff, and they get mad at the parents and even put the parents in jail for having a problem with it. Now, parents can't even hardly.
The horror stuff I wrote wasn't for the most part. I mean, yeah, it had horror elements, but for the most part, it wasn't hack and slash and all blood and scare stuff. It was quite an emotional roller coaster and had a lot of weight to the emotional moments.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, it's more like a hard drama with horror elements to it.
Yeah.
Which I didn't mean to write a story like that, but, you know, it takes on a life of its own.
Yeah. And the characters in the book were very memorable. Every one of them. Every one of the characters in Noise's book was very memorable.
I haven't touched that in years. It's something that, you know, mostly it was the writing community that threw me off of it. But if you're into writing a book, it consumes you. All your time, all your attention, all your everything is into that, just solely into that. It becomes your world.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say, speaking for myself, I'll say that.
Well, I don't know. It just seemed like every time you went to write something, Noise, some kind of crazy shit would happen. I don't know what it was. It was like the universe knew.
Cops would show up, or somebody's fighting in the front yard, or I don't know, just a whole bunch of random craziness would just break out all of a sudden.
Every time he would write.
Yeah. Next best kids books from the left. Why my mom pin is I'll say like pin 15 is saving our family's bedroom.
Oh, I bet it'd be a bestseller.
Yeah, and you know, YouTube tries to force us all to talk like infants. I can't say penis. Fuck it, I just said it. But fuck you, YouTube, right? But anyway. What turned me away from it all is the new gay climate, so it's just not worth the trouble. That is another thing that turned me away. For one, you know, I was in the community. I was talking to the authors, the editors, the publishing companies, and all they wanted was LGBTQ stories and Women's Month, which every month was Women's Month. They only wanted stuff from women and from people of the woke community and you know, anybody else was just cast down. That your stuff's not getting anywhere for sure. So that's another thing that's like, oh, just fuck this.
That is very, very true. And I'm going to tell you something else. The music community is about the same way.
Yes, while I am not a musician per se, I have been, I spent years in the music industry. I learned to play a little bass, you know. I could probably even sing a thing or two, but I'd rather not. I'm not one for attention. But I did spend years, did everything from mixing the music to booking the gigs to the security. Did I say mixing the music? Anyway, I did all the parts except for the music. Sometimes I did some musical parts, but mostly no. But I did spend years in the music community, and it feels like every community I get into, for one, is like, fuck you, you don't belong here. And it's very toxic. It feels that way. I don't think I've been welcomed much of anywhere.
Yazzo said, well, I can talk a lot about the music community and being a drummer for 20 plus years. Yeah.
And it says you are right. Which what was it? You said it was toxic. Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is a very cutthroat kind of thing.
After learning piano and drums, I landed on music production in college. I like being in the background, not on stage. Well, you know, every time, you know, like I said, I was a security, I was a bouncer, I was, you know, everything, right? And every time I'd get on stage, everybody's like, yeah, it's about fucking time. And I'd be like, what the fuck you want me to do? I'm talentless. I got no talent. Bye.
You just walk across the stage and everybody would go nuts.
I'm not completely talentless, but I'm also not one to put myself in front of people like this. I know there's some irony because I have a YouTube channel now, but that's a whole nother level.
And another community that's very, very toxic and very, very woke is the artist community. Oh, artists get jealous over everybody, each other's work all the damn time. And it's like, art is in the eye of the beholder. Just because you think yours is not as good as somebody else's, it doesn't matter. It's what the buyer likes, you know. So, oh my God. We went to an art show and I had some art in it. And all we seen in that art show was paintings of pee-pees and vaginas and
black people worship. Now, yeah. I'm not saying go hate on black people. No, obviously not. But these people were like doing like some kind of literal black, you know, brown and black people worship. And it was like, that's disturbing. I would be disturbed if they were doing white worship.
Yeah. And I just said, you know what? To hell with it. I'll just sell my art on DeviantArt and be done with it. Because
now dare you be so not? Correct. and yeah, Elijah, the art room is cutthroat. Yeah, you know, it's great to be a hobbyist, but if you ever take one step past that hobbyist role, and you're gonna be like, oh fuck no.
Well,
it feels like everything I've ever entered into, when you find out how it goes, once you get past the hobbyist stage, you're like, no, I am so fucking out of here.
Yep, that's what I did. My art is more macabre than anything. But and people like it. But to me, I'm not going to put my art along somebody else's painting of vaginas and pee-pees. I'm not going to do that. Because that's not what my art is about. And I don't want people thinking because my art is there, I'm like those people, because I'm not.
Okay, look, you can have political art, and I'm okay with that. But identity politics, you know, when you're associating race and gender with art, that's where I draw a line, but that's just me. You make up your own mind on it.
I mean, there's no sense in it. And like I said, I'll just sell my stuff. If anybody wants to buy my stuff, it'll be on DeviantArt. And that's it. And that's all. And if they don't, that's fine with me. I'll just put it up on the wall and keep it for myself.
Well, I have another article here, and it too is about a writer, but that's not the takeaway of the story. The takeaway of the story is about the left eating its own and Blue Sky. Sci-fi writer John Scalzi, I don't know how to say that, but Scalzi admits social media site Blue Sky is failing because the left are humorless scolds. Science fiction writer, is wanted an echo chamber where he wouldn't have to face criticism for his extremist political takes. So he's definitely a leftist. And Blue Sky offered him that opportunity. As it's being reported, the company is failing because it's an echo chamber. Scalzi has admitted the left are humorless scolds. He's begun struggling to maintain his relevancy in recent years, and despite having a multi-million-dollar book deal, he's not getting the attention he used to, especially not on the platform Blue Sky, where the engagement is so much less than X has. So he went to where it would be an echo chamber. Everybody's echoing his own sentiment back to him, but it's not getting him the attention that X/Twitter is. Scalzi was one of those who made sure people were aware that he had left Twitter years ago, prior in a blog post on November 11th, 2024, not to miss out on the election outrage. So he's like, yeah, fuck Trump, I'm leaving X. So he left and he found out, hey, I'm not getting the attention I should be getting. Yeah, and that's a picture of him there. Pink shirt with My Little Ponies on it, and it says alpha male. This is a good opportunity. So this is how I imagine.
My little pony, baby pony. They're such cute ponies, everyone. My little pony, baby pony. Baby cotton candy. You is so much baby fun. Moon dancer. I love to feed you with baby firefly. And put on your little diaper too. Each sold separately.
Ta-da!
No.
So an article from Fortune was released this week saying Blue Sky is backfiring. Mark Cuban says the lack of diversity of thought is actually pushing users back to X. So an echo chamber is pushing people back to X/Twitter. The article details how the echo chamber failed to generate any meaningful engagement, and Mark Cuban has noted a change where the extreme left user base has started to turn on themselves, saying the site has gotten ruder and more hateful. Yeah, surprise! The extreme left are rude and hateful, and I guess it's a surprise to their own. I mean, they find out they're eating their own. Those normal folks on the other side of the aisle who have been targets of the left's ire for years can only help but smile knowingly at how rude and hateful Blue Sky crowd can be. Cuban continues saying engagement went from great conversations on many topics to agree with me or you are a Nazi fascist. We are forcing posts to X. Yeah, agree with me or you're a fascist. Yeah, he's just now finding this out. I mean, he's one of them. He should know. Even though Scalzi seems to recognize there's a problem and also recognizes that his attitude is a large part of it, he'd still rather watch his own circle crash and burn into irrelevancy than treat anyone else who disagrees with him on a topic as human. So, admittingly, he would rather be in that echo chamber where they're eating their own because he does the exact same. Anybody who doesn't agree with him, he calls a fascist.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, well, go ahead.
Well, I mean, just look at him. Come on. He went to a site that's mostly PPs, and he expected some great turnout for his work. When in reality, nobody goes to that site except for PDF files and all that kind of thing. And there is nothing alpha about this. Nothing. I'm more of an alpha male than this bullshit.
I think his shirt is supposed to be irony or poking fun at the supposed alpha males.
Oh, please. He, he wishes he was an alpha male. He looks like one of the ponies. He looks like one of them ponies. So, no. But
Yeah. When there's nobody to attack, they attack their own. They have nothing but echoing sentiment back to one another, and they must attack. They must.
yeah. It's like you got an attack dog that's been bred to attack things and guard things and stuff like that. And then they have nothing to fight. Then they start turning on themselves.
They say that in actuality that the whole alpha male term is a misnomer. For the person who coined it or whatever, it doesn't matter to me. We all still recognize there's such thing as people who are alpha or attempt to look alpha, or even on that side of the aisle, they have their own way to be an alpha, which is highly different than the normal way. But yes, we all recognize that that whole alpha male or even alpha female is a thing and does exist.
Yes, it does. And a true alpha, be whether they're male or female, does not have to advertise as such. They just are. It's like, when we've all been in public places and things, and everybody, be talking or whatever, and then they kind of get quiet when somebody walks in the room, and their presence just fills the room. They don't have to say anything; they just show up, and everybody. It's a primal, understood thing that whoever they're paying the attention to is the alpha, whether they're male or female. That's the way it works.
And I think you're a fool if you claim to be an alpha male. That's just my take. It's like self-proclaiming that you are all wise, or you are the wisest, or you are the smartest. I think it's a fool's errand to say such things.
Yeah. Well, I know back in the day,
Surprise! He found out they eat their own. That when you in the echo chamber, guess what happens? But he still he stays with them. He would rather put up with what they're doing and do it as well than to see the truth in the matter, which plays into cognitive dissonance.
The cognitive dissonance is great with those people. They can't see anything other than themselves. And I think they're a bunch of narcissistic assholes too.
And by the way, I'm not trying to flex. I'm trying to stretch. Sitting here for hours, stretch, right?
Yeah.
I'm not over here like, oh, no, I'm not all muscular. Fuck that. I'm not gonna pretend.
But
I may have a few muscles, but no, I'm not all that. I'm not gonna claim to be.
But that's just human nature. It's the primal instinct of people. People are herd animals. So every herd has the alpha, male and female. That's the way it goes. I don't care what they say. It's the truth. And if they say people are not animals, they're fooling themselves.
As we are all, I know some of you don't agree with this, but it is my opinion that we are all animals, that we just have another layer of reasoning that most animals do not have. And that often fools us into thinking there is such a separation that we're not animals. But think about it. Think about human reactions. Think about all of history. It's very animal behavior.
Yeah, it is. Whether they want to believe it or not. And it just makes no sense. People are always doing stuff like that. They always think, oh, well, that's just a dumb animal and we're different. We're not different. They just want to believe that they are.
So what are you looking up?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking about something. But anyway,
You
I lost my
that's
train of
animal
thought.
behavior. The females generally lie to your face even when you know better.
Wasn't lying. I was sending you something.
Oh, now the
sending...
truth comes out. So you were looking at something. So you were doing something. But yet
I wasn't looking anything up.
Your animal brain said, no, I'm not doing anything. While I heard click, 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 and the screen flashing.
Yeah, well, I was sending you something. But anyway, that's just my take on it. It just aggravates me because they want to think, oh, well, we're so different. No, we're not. Put people out in the woods and they would see real fast they're not at the top of the food chain like they think they are. And yeah, they will turn on each other like these people are doing now.
Yeah, we'll soon bring this episode, or whatever you want to call it, to a close. I want to cover one more quick article. Pedro Pascal wears women's clothes taken from female co-stars, according to Dakota Johnson in Fallon interview. Now, I don't think this surprises anyone, but it's like, it's in the open now. Pedro Pascal reportedly wears women's clothes taken from, basically the article repeating itself. Dakota Johnson casually exposed a rather curious quirk about her co-star Pedro Pascal when Fallon pulled up a photo of the pair attending 2024 Stevie Nicks concert in London. Johnson immediately pointed to Pedro's attire and dropped the bomb, "That's my sweater." Okay. He does that a lot, she explained, clearly amused at the memory of Pedro Pascal in women's clothing. "He takes my clothes." Fallon, much of the audience, seemed to think she was joking, but Johnson doubled down. Apparently, the 50-year-old actor is frequently underdressed and raids Johnson's wardrobe when the temperature dips. He's like always underdressed, she added. "Well, he's wearing a t-shirt and it's cold outside. He's not forgot his pants." So basically saying it's not like he forgot his pants, but he's always underdressed in the cold, seemingly as an excuse to take women's clothes and wear them.
Oh.
He's going viral for dancing around with a rainbow-colored pole that he licked suggestively at the Last of Us wrap-up party, encouraged Johnson to launch a paid adult photo site to sell inappropriate photos of herself. And now, according to Johnson, Pedro Pascal seems to be building an unofficial wardrobe out of borrowed women's clothes.
Oh, dear Lord.
This explains everything. Yeah, dancing with a rainbow pole and licking it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The more I've learned about Pedro, the more I squint my eyes from thought. He's sort of closeted cringe creep. Yeah. I mean, he's mostly out of the closet, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, he's wearing women's clothes, so yeah, he's out of the closet, people.
And think of it. They're putting him in everything now. He's in the Last of Us, or was in the Last of Us series. He's in the new Fantastic Four, which they're putting out there as the biggest movie ever, and they're trying to, build Marvel's whole new thing on it. This is the man that they're pushing front and center. So they're trying to have him as an action star, a science fiction star. It's like, this is the new star, the new name that everybody should know because he's going to be in the next 100 movies. No.
Dressed as a lady? He's stealing people's clothes. I mean, come on. Oh my God.
I used to like the dude, but over the years, I've backed away slowly. I've backed away quickly. I mean, I used to look. I know he was in the Game of Thrones. He looks a little different then, but he was in there. It was just an actor. I didn't think nothing of it. But yeah, the more they're putting him front and center, and the more you're seeing his behavior, the more you're going, ew, no, no,
Like,
don't, just don't. This
No.
is gonna push a lot of people away from a lot of franchises, a lot of TV shows and movies that would otherwise be good if they didn't know about his creep behavior.
Well, the thing is he don't have. He's using that shit as an excuse. He don't have to steal ladies' clothes. I mean, he's got a wardrobe. You know, he could go get men's clothes anytime he got ready.
He can afford it.
Yeah, he can have somebody bring them to him or something. It's not like he's got to steal women's clothes. What is he going to do next? Wear women's drawers? I mean, really?
He probably already does.
Yeah.
No, I'm really worried. I put on my girlfriend's underwear this morning. I've still got them on. I like it. I really like it.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
That's where we're at.
What?
You know, we always wonder when are the. I'm not saying it's the end times, but like, when are the end times gonna come? When is it gonna get crazy? A lot of people may think this in the back of their mind. Look where we're at. Look where we are currently at. Look at what we're having to deal with. Just take a look around, take it all in, and understand it for what it really is. We're there. It may not. And again, I'm not saying it's end days, but I'm saying we're in a kind of a Sodom and Gomorrah situation. We literally are.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why I keep saying I'm gonna stay at the house. I'm not going nowhere because of stuff like this. I can have my groceries delivered and everything else. Why in the hell would I need to go out in public?
It's like a city, or two cities, I take it, was turned to salt for reasons like this. I know not everybody's out there that are like, oh, I'm not in the Bible stuff or whatever, but it's allegory, right? It's an allegory. It's an example. I'm not speaking religiously. It's a allegory.
Well,
if you understand the concept there.
Yeah, according to the story, Abraham and Lot went to Sodom and Gomorrah, and the angels came to tell Lot to Abraham didn't go to Sodom and Gomorrah, Lot did. Angels came to Lot and told him to get his daughters and his wife out of Sodom and Gomorrah, because God was going to destroy the cities because it was so damn corrupt. Well, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah came to Lot's house, and they started beating on the door and everything, wanting the angels. And Lot said, no, take my daughters instead. They didn't want the daughters. They wanted the angels. So some time went by, and the angels escorted Lot and his family out of Gomorrah, and his wife looked back and she got turned to a pillar of salt.
The way I understand it, they wanted the angels to essentially sodomize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And God rained down fire and brimstone on both the cities and wiped them off the map.
Yeah,
while Lot escaped into the mountains.
For those of you out there, is like, oh, don't bring up this Bible shit. It's an allegory. It's essentially an example. It's saying where they are in that story, we're already there, if not beyond that point now.
Mm-hmm.
They want our children. Some of us, they want to not exist anymore, and some they just want us to be one of them so they can have you.
Yeah. And the thing about that story was God was talking to Abraham and or somebody. It was the angels or Abraham or somebody, and they said, if we could find 10 righteous people in the cities, I won't destroy it. So they kept going on, and they said they couldn't find anybody that was righteous in those cities except for Lot and his family, and that's where the story picks up and tells about the destruction and all that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in a higher power. I believe in doing good and right and all that. I am not religious, but I don't think that every religious thing is nonsense. I believe there's plenty of good lessons to be learned, whether it be Buddhism or Christianity or what have you. I believe there's something, at least something you can take from each of them and keep it close, and it help you as an allegory, as a lesson, as a story, or however you wish to take it.
That is very true. And a lot of people don't realize it. I did not know that. Well,
I
you
didn't know
learn
that
something
either.
every day. Yeah,
Well,
I didn't know that.
It's like I often say, I appreciate that I have a intellectual, well-informed audience. It's probably why I have such a small audience, because there's not that many bright people out there.
Yeah.
But if you have a unique perspective, or insight, or if you're knowledgeable in a particular area, I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's always good to learn from other people.
Even if you have average or less than average intellect, there are ways to contribute that is appreciated. But
Very
with that
true.
said, most of my audience are some really smart motherfuckers.
Yeah. It's always fun to have conversations that you learn new things.
When you hear them say Babylon, they mean cops/government.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I didn't know that.
The real irony here? You and me, or you were in one, but you and me were in a reggae band. I mean, I was more of a I worked around it, but we were in a reggae band. And we didn't know that. That's bad, isn't it? That's bad.
It's real bad.
To be fair, when you are in a reggae band, there is one thing you do more than even the music: stay fucked up.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Yasto, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say the same myself. I believe in a higher power, but I'm not a religious person. And there's a lot of religious people will be like, no, it's the word, or you're gonna burn in hell, and that's it. There's only one way. You can fuck off that bullshit. There were plenty. There were people before Christianity. There's people in other lands. There's people who never heard of it. And you know what? What is it? Is it like anybody from any other time or distance or upbringing is just all gonna burn in hell who didn't know Christ in the Bible as you know it? I think that's ignorant. I do. And I don't give a fuck who that offends. I'm not gonna lie about it.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of silly to think that, a higher being that created everything would destroy everything simply because somebody hasn't heard of them. It just doesn't make any sense.
But actually, I could, about spiritualism and somewhat about religion, I could talk on and on and on and on. But for one, it's not that kind of show. We'll touch on things, but it's not that kind of show. And we don't have all the time in the world. We're at about 3 hours and 43-minute mark. Of course, when we have more panelists, we go on longer. It was just the two of us. We always, we don't go too long. So I think we're going to say bye now.
Bye, everybody.
But, not before we get this. First, I'll say, when you're looking around, it's like, oh, there's 5 different shows I could watch. Remember this girl.
Me! Choose me! Love me!
No.
Yeah,
Even Big
so,
Shirley don't like that woman.
Choose me, right?
Well, I'll choose you, but I ain't choosing her.
Okay. As the great Tyler Durden said, and as you know from Fight Club, you have to consider the possibility that God does not like you, he never wanted you. In all probability, he hates you. Yeah, I've considered that. I think all things are probable and possible. If it's possible to be probable, and if it's probable, it's possible. I'm not gonna get into that. That's a chasing your own tail kind of thing. But yeah, I'm open to the different possibilities. So thanks, Noise and Elijah, for the amazing stream. Cheers and stay fresh. Damn, my freshness ran out years ago.
We're old and stale.
Yeah, walking on the beach is like, are you feeling fresh lately? Shut up, bitch.
We will be back on Thursday, and Noise will be on Reality Based on Wednesday.
Yes, I never know about Reality Based because Ryan likes to change things up sometimes, but I should be on there Wednesday, and we will be back Thursday with more of a full panel. We do have one spot open. Slay Every Game said he may fill that slot. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm always open to letting more on the panel.
So yes, we will be back. Yeah, we will be back.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but of course I'd make a joke there. So everybody out there, keep bringing the noise because we sure as fuck will. And on Thursday, Roadkill there will be on the panel with us as well as some others. So we hope to see you then. I know there's a lot of people to choose from. It's like, who do I watch? Who do I watch? Remember, the skinny crying twerking girl. Remember, come on, do it for her.
She needs some food.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Shoo-be-bop,